Bob Beeler back along with Brian Baldinger. Holy Cross has won the toss. They have elected to defer. Bucknell has elected to take the ball. That means Holy Cross will have the wind advantage in the first quarter. And because of that wind advantage, Terrence Parham and O.J. Perkins are standing on the goal line, and set to kick off will be senior Jamie Gornell for Holy Cross.
Gornell ought to be able to put this ball into the end zone. He's having a pretty good season here for a guy that hasn't kicked much in his career. He's now a senior. With this kind of a tailwind behind him, he ought to sail this thing through the end zone.
And we're just about set to go. Holy Cross will have to hold the ball to kick it off. It'll be from the far hash mark. Freshman Barrett Doxey will have the honors of holding it. And kicking off is Gornell. It is a high kick, not overly deep with the wind. Parham will take it on the 6, come to the middle of the field, get to the 15, juke a man, get to the 20. A flag is down. There's probably a block in the back, and Bucknell will start at about the 10-yard line, 1st and 10.
Number 26, Terrence Parham on the
I think Colby Cooper, the freshman coming down on that kickoff, was guilty of an infraction, a clip. And this ball is going to be walked back, and I think Bucknell's going to start deep in their own territory on their first drive.
So the Bison will have it back inside the 15 for Jim Fox and company. And it'll be back inside the 10 at about the 9 or maybe even the 8.5-yard line. And as we look at Bucknell, Jim Fox, the junior, will open at quarterback. He's completing 57% of his passes for 190 yards per game average. Steve Noteboom goes to the left. John Sikowski goes to the right. Will open in an offset eye with Jeremy Myers, the freshman, at fullback, and the tailback will be Rich Lemon. Now Fox will split his backs. Holy Cross in a 5-man line. Back to pass is Fox. Quick out to the senior Noteboom. Makes a catch to 14, and he'll get wrestled down by the cornerback, Terrence Browning. A pickup of about 5 on the play, 2nd and 5. The offensive line for Bucknell has Brian Gay at left tackle, Jason Donkers at left guard, and Scott Lennox at center. All 3 are seniors. The freshman Patrick Janssen is at right guard, and the sophomore Marius Miziak at right tackle. The Bison right now will play with Ted Stover at the tight end spot. We'll also see Cal Wilcox. 2nd down and a long 4 to go for a first down as they gave him forward progress out near the 15-yard line. Fox looking over the defense for Holy Cross. Again, 2 wide receivers, 1 to each side for Bucknell. Fox will go to the run, hand it to Lemon. Good hole over the right side, breaks a couple of tackles, and Bucknell will get the initial first down of the game as Lemon gets out across the 20 to the 23. Holy Cross is down line 1. Brandon Weber, Dominic Blue, Brian Regan, and Matt Ferry. Ferry, the best one of that group. The linebackers, David Streeter and Phil Taberzi. And the secondary, Robert Sewell, Justin Relihan, Barrett Doxey, and Terrence Browning. I may have forgotten David Harris. He's also out at linebacker for Holy Cross. So Bucknell with it. 1st and 10 at the 23 their own. They get the first down. Again in the offset eye, shaded to the left side. Holy Cross in a 5-man front. Myers out of the backfield in motion to the right. Fox on a straight drop, has some time, scrambles to the left side, now will run. Across the 25, dives forward to about the 27, and on the scramble, Fox will pick up nearly 5.
On that 2nd down play, Lemon picked up about 6 yards in that run, and for the year, Holy Cross is giving up almost 235 yards per game on the ground, about a 5-yard average. So they haven't been very stout against the run, and they've gone to a 4-3. Some of it predisposed because of the injuries to linebackers, but some of it might be to try to stop the run better.
Holy Cross has given up 29 points a game, 236 yards on the ground, 208 yards in the air for a total of 444. 2nd and 5, toss left side to Lemon. Lemon will get a couple of yards past the line of scrimmage, but was gang tackled at the 29-yard line. First guy to get to him was Dominic Blue, a senior defensive tackle for Holy Cross. Bucknell now with a very workable 3rd and 3. This season they are 36% on 3rd downs, and that's tops in the Patriot League. 12 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Bucknell will operate now, looks like with 3 wide receivers on this play, as Perkins comes into the game for tight end Ted Stover.
If I was Craig Moropoulos on this play, I would send Rich Lemon on the same swing that he was out in 2 plays before. He was wide open. Fox couldn't get him the ball, and he scrambled instead.
3rd and 3 for the Bison. They need to get to the 33 for a first down. Fox back to pass. Holy Cross blitzes, and the pass long intended for Perkins, incomplete on the coverage with Browning. It'll be 4th and 3, and Bucknell will have to punt into the wind.
They went for the home run right there to O.J. Perkins, which isn't a bad call. Into the wind, you could maybe break the sword of this Holy Cross team early. They want to try to get off to a better offensive start, but Rich Lemon, for the 2nd time coming in the backfield, was wide open.
Rich Miller on to punt. His punting average this season, 37 yards, down a couple of yards from last year when he was the all-league punter. Jeff Labarani averaging 4 yards of return, standing in single safety inside the Holy Cross 40. Scott Lennox, a senior, to snap. Low pass from center. Rush comes, and Miller just does get it away. Labarani will let it bounce at the 45. It'll take a Holy Cross roll, and the Crusaders will start in excellent field position right near midfield at about the 47-yard line. Holy Cross will send out their offense, and it will be the junior Brian Stapp to quarterback. His numbers this season, 89 of 196 for only 45% completions. He's thrown for 141 yards a game, and the bad stat, Brian, 5 touchdowns, but 14 interceptions.
And that's been their problem this year. Certainly one of the big problems is turnovers and the turnover ratio. They're a minus 24 in that game. That's way too many.
That's an average of -3 a game. They'll open with 3 wide receivers. The lone back is Walls. Walls will get the handoff, go up the middle. Pat Feely, the nose guard, will make the tackle. It'll be a gain of about 4 or 5 into Bucknell territory at the 48. Also help on the play Michael Haggerty, who was named Bucknell's Defensive Player of the Week last week. He'll be at one linebacker with Rob Bird, who had 22 tackles a week ago and was the Patriot League's Defensive Player of the Week.
He was outstanding last week. He was all over the field, and he's really had an outstanding season leading the team in tackles.
2nd and 5 coming up for Holy Cross. They now go back into the eye as Nelson is behind the quarterback Stapp, and this time it's Sanchez at the tailback. Sanchez will try to go to the left side. He'll get stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Great pursuit by the Bison defense. Out there was Rob Bird, who now needs 3 tackles for 200. Hunter Adams and Brandon Little were also there.
That's really the strength of the Bucknell team, is that anytime they can string a running back out going east-west instead of coming upfield, is they get excellent pursuit to the football, and usually there's a lot of gang tackling right at the ball.
Holy Cross with a 3rd and 3. They're only 31% on 3rd downs. Stapp will send Hopkins, his best receiver, to the left side. Myers to the right side. The tight end is Dempster on the right side. They'll run the ball left side to Walls, and he'll go nowhere. Walls will meet a stone wall of Bucknell defenders. He'll even lose a yard. Michael Haggerty and Rob Bird, the 2 linebackers there. Willie Hill and Brandon Little also there. Great conversion again by the Bucknell defense, and it'll be a punting situation for Holy Cross.
And they ran the exact same play that time. They ran an OT, pulling the backside guard and tackle and trying to lead a sweep to the left side, but excellent penetration prevented that play from even getting started.
So both teams fail on 3rd and short, and punting for Holy Cross is Mark McClinchy, and McClinchy's punt will bounce at the 2 and go into the end zone, so Holy Cross cannot pin Bucknell inside the 10. The Bison will have decent field position at their own 20 for the 2nd drive of the day for Bucknell. No score, 10:38 remaining in the 1st quarter. Bucknell will try to get something going. One of the things that I think when you're a favorite, Brian, you need to strike quickly, get the underdog down, and go for the knockout punch soon.
You need to establish yourself as quickly as possible, and they came out throwing the football, which I thought was excellent, getting Fox a little early confidence. I just don't think that he was looking at the secondary receiver well enough in that first drive.
1st and 10, Bucknell at their own 20. Fox sends Sikowski to the left, Nopum to the right. Backs in an offset eye. They'll run the ball left side to Lemon, and Lemon will be stood up by the strong safety Antonio Harris. It'll be Harris's 2nd tackle for a loss this season. No one blocked the strong safety coming through, and Lemon will lose 1.
When teams start walking up their safeties like that to take the run away, there's nobody to account for that. And sometimes the best thing to do is, if you can see it early enough, check off the play and go to the air, because there's going to be an unmanned block, and he was right in the hole waiting for Lemon.
Harris now in at strong safety in place of Doxey for Holy Cross. Fox back to pass on 2nd and 11. Has time. Right side to Nopum. Wide open and drops the ball. Would have been a 1st down at the 27-yard line. Looked like he kind of took his hand off the ball, looking maybe where the sticks were. Actually, he would have been short of the 1st down because the stick man had moved over there. But still, it would have been a good gainer for Bucknell on 2nd down.
Fox threw that ball to the wide side of the field to Nopum on timing, and it was an excellent throw. I was a little surprised, really, because that wind is really, really strong, as we've mentioned earlier. And I thought it might have a bigger effect on his passes, but that ball was thrown with a lot of mustard. Nopum's got to catch that football.
3rd and 11 now for Bucknell. They'll go with the 4 wide receiver set, no tight end. Lemon, the lone back in the backfield. Holy Cross in a 4-man front. That's all that comes. Fox will throw it over the middle, leaping to make the catch as John Sikowski took it away from the safety Harris, and he'll move the sticks for the 1st down, about 14 yards on the pass play, and that was a picture-perfect fingertip catch for John Sikowski.
We've seen this on a number of occasions this year. Maybe most memorable is the catch at Penn in the end zone, where he really had to leave his feet and give up his body, and that's what he did on this play right here. That was an excellent catch, and it was another timing pattern, just a slant route, but the big thing was he got enough yards for the 1st down, knew where the markers were.
And John now looks a little bit woozy out there. I don't know if he took a shot. He had a concussion a week or so ago, or whether this is maybe some kind of a leg injury, as he's having a little trouble walking off under his own power, being assisted by Steve Zender and the Bison training staff. And Sikowski will come out. 9:48 to go in the first quarter, no score. John, the leading receiver on this team with 34 catches and over 450 yards on the season. Noteboom to the right, Perkins to the left. And the backs in an offset eye, Myers in front of Lemon. 1st and 10, Bucknell at the 32, their own. Myers out of the backfield in motion from left to right. Fox will hand it to Lemon. Lemon will try to go around right end, and Lemon will have nowhere to go. He'll lose a couple back to the 30-yard line. Holy Cross did a nice job with outside linebacker Phil Tiberzi not letting him get around the corner, and he tried to cut back, and there was nowhere to run.
Yeah, Rich Lemon has got to see that a little bit earlier and cut that ball up. Maybe not taking such a loss and trying to salvage as much as you can as quickly as you can, and instead of taking that 2-yard loss.
2nd down and 11, actually 12. Noteboom to the left, Perkins to the right. Holy Cross will line up with 4 down linemen and cheat one of the linebackers. Tiberzi up to the line as well. The other linebacker's very close to the line. 2nd and 11, Fox with a quick throw to Noteboom, overthrows him at the 42. He was given a lot of cushion by Cedric Rogers in the secondary, and that time Fox just overthrew him.
It was a bad throw, and I think the wind really is going to have a factor all day today throwing into that wind. But Rich Lemon is shaking his head because for the 3rd time now, early in this first quarter, he has swung out of the backfield, and Holy Cross has yet to pick him up. He's been wide open on all 3 occasions. Jim just hasn't seen him and hasn't given him the ball.
John Sikowski back. Okay, he's in the game. He and Perkins go to the left. Noteboom and Phillips go to the right side. Lemon is the lone back behind Fox. 4-man line this time for Holy Cross. On 3rd and 11 for Bucknell, Fox back to pass. Quick throw over the middle, and once again slings it too high for Noteboom. He had a step on the cornerback, Robert Sewell, who was covering him. But again, the ball not on the money, and again, the wind may be a factor. And coming on to punt against the wind now for Bucknell on 4th down is Rich Miller.
I think it's easy to say that the wind is a factor, and indeed it is, but Jim Fox has to settle his feet, get a little more comfortable back there. He has good protection, settle down, and deliver the football as if there is no wind.
10-man at the line for Holy Cross. Labaranti in single safety standing at the Holy Cross 35-yard line. Lennox again to snap the ball. It's 4th and 11 from Bucknell's 31. Pass from center, big rush for Holy Cross again, and Miller gets it away. Labaranti will field it on the 42 on the run, and he'll go sideways and get nothing. Josh Lebrecht down there with Terrence Parham and Willie Hill. The first 3 guys down there. Andy DeRemus also there. Great coverage by the Bison special teams.
And I think Antonio Harris is really upset with himself because for the 2nd punt rush now, they've gone after the ball for the block, and on 2 occasions, I think if he took the direct or a better route to the football, he would have been able to block that punt. He was pounding the turf after that play, thinking he should have gotten it.
1st and 10 now for Holy Cross. The 2nd drive, they've started outside their own 40. Walls is the lone back. He'll get the ball on the counter, try to go to the left side to get to the sidelines. He'll get maybe 3 and get bumped out of bounds over on the far side in front of the Holy Cross bench. Michael Haggerty and Brandon Little were over there to knock him out of bounds. Walls last year had a great year for Holy Cross as a freshman. He was co-rookie of the year in the league. 200 carries, 712 yards, and 7 touchdowns. But this year, 86 carries for 263 yards, and the average per carry is down.
And early this game, he looks a better back than his statistics have shown this year. He looks like he has the speed to turn a corner and runs with a lot of power.
2nd down and 7 after Walls gained 3, and Berman may have the sack record and does. He gets staffed for a loss of 3 or 4. Berman now with 11.5 sacks on the season, and he's the new record holder for the Bison.
Yeah, that's really quite an honor, too, because he's been consistent in his pass rush all year. Even when he wasn't making some sacks in some games, he's always been able to apply pressure. And from a 3-man line, that's all you can ask of your defensive ends is to get pressure. Normally, 4-man lines produce a lot more sacks, but a 3-man line, you're only rushing 3 sometimes. That's really quite a feat.
3rd down and 9. Holy Cross in a hole. Again, 1 back, 4 wide receivers. Step back to pass. Berman chases him again, and he'll add to his record with back-to-back sacks. Berman now with 12.5 sacks, and he continues to pile on the sacks, getting 2 in a row.
What's most impressive about that is he's beating Tom Claro, who has been a 2-time All-Patriot League performer at the left tackle. A real rock on their offensive line, weighing about 320 pounds. But Ed using his quickness and athleticism to be able to go right around him.
4th down and 14 after Berman comes up with back-to-back sacks. McClinchy may have the punt block, but no, gets it away and gets a good spiraling kick. Phillips will let it bounce at the 10, and once again it'll go into the end zone. That's going to be a 62-yard punt, and Bucknell will get it at the 20-yard line.
Well, that's an indication of just how strong this wind is out here today and how much of a factor it's going to play as these 2 teams really juggle for field position. But that was a great decision by Phillips. Really not very intentional. I think he wanted to catch that football, but, was able to sail into the end zone. They'll take it on the 20.
Brian, a point was the Bucknell offense is going to break the huddle. You talk about a three-man down line. The thing that I think makes them so effective is each one of the three guys is a different kind of player. You got the pass rusher in Berman. Feely very, very solid anchoring the middle as Lemon will carry the ball to the right side. 20, 25, 30. It's his longest run of the season, and he may go the distance. 40, 30. Oh, he's going to be dragged out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Lemon on the first play of the drive puts Bucknell in scoring position.
And he was able to use the blocks by Miziak and Wilcox over there at the tight end position, or actually that was Ted Stover at the tight end, and really be able to split the defenders. And once he got into the secondary, it was just a foot race.
51 yards on the jaunt for Rich Lemon. Bucknell inside the 30 at the 29, and all of a sudden the Bison offense gets a little spark.
Well, 51-yard rushes will do that for you, and it's good to see Rich get on track early because he seems to be the catalyst for this offense. If he gets started early and gets started quickly, it seems like the entire Bucknell offense follows suit.
And we've got a play into the line, gaining very, very little. Carrying will be the fullback, Jeremy Myers. Second down at about 9 coming up. 6:50 and counting to go in the first quarter, no score. Bucknell for the first time this afternoon in Holy Cross territory.
I think Lemon wants to get to that 1,000-yard mark at home today, and certainly Holy Cross is a team that's given up a lot of yards on the ground, and I think he's looking to get that established sometime this afternoon.
Lemon, of course, would get 1,000 if he can come up with just a little less than 200 yards. Lemon will lose a yard or two there. Lemon came in with 807 yards on the season. And if Lemon were to get 1,000 yards, he would be only the 19th player in history of 1AA football to have 3,000-yard seasons. No one's done it 4 times.
The thing that makes that an accomplishment is that it shows consistency. It shows that he's been able to stay healthy, that he's been able to give consistent performances over a period of time. That's how you measure any great running back.
And by the way, the 51-yard run bumped Holy Cross's Joe Segretti out of second place all-time on the Patriot League rushing list. 3rd and 11 for Bucknell as the ball back at the 30. Fox will have to go to the air, back to pass, and he'll be sacked back at the 36-yard line. And against the wind, that'll take Bucknell out of field position. It'll be the 25th time that Jim Fox has gone down this year on a sack. And it's going to be the punting unit that's going to come on for Bucknell as they try to play a little field position. And Jim Fox will remain on there to try to pooch punt the Holy Cross team down inside their own 20-yard line.
And that time they sent David Harris on the blitz, and Miziak went out and picked him up, but they left the defensive end solo there, and he was able to make the sack on Fox.
Bucknell would need to go to the 19 if they should try to fake it, but on 4th and about 17, they'll kick it away. Fox kick is a tumbler. It'll bounce the 20, and Andy DeRemus will be in the way, and it'll be down at about the 18, 19-yard line, actually at the 20-yard line. DeRemus would have liked to have moved his frame out of the way because it was taking a Bucknell roll.
It doesn't look like he was trying to get out of the way of the ball. It looks like he was trying to down it, but the ball had a lot of forward spin on it. You got to let that ball just roll dead. And in a game of field position like this where it's so important, let that ball roll for another 10 yards. Let them start at the 10 instead of the 20.
Both teams have had opportunities to punt the other team back in the hole, but both times for Holy Cross, the ball's gone into the end zone. And for Bucknell, that one here takes an inadvertent hit against DeRemus, so Holy Cross will start at the 20. Step back to pass on 1st and 10, flag down. Probably a hold against Holy Cross. And Laborati, the recipient of the pass, does not get it. It's over his head at the Bucknell 40. He had a step on Terrence Parham. Miller and Boyle were over there a little bit late, and Holy Cross had an opportunity to break a big one, but again, the flag down against the Crusaders.
Laborati had a step on Terrence Parham, and had that ball been thrown just a little bit shorter, that might have been 6 points, but it's going to be taken back because of some holding on the offensive line. And again, the defensive line only rushing 3 people. If you can put that kind of pressure on the quarterback with just 3 people and drop 8 in coverage, that really makes your defense that much more effective.
So the penalty will be accepted by Bucknell, half the distance to the goal from the spot, so it's back inside the 10 to the 8. The pass was incomplete. So Holy Cross now will have a 1st down and 22 to go. As the ball back at the 8, they need to get to the 30. Myers and Hopkins go to the left side. To the right side, it's Laborani. They'll go out of the shotgun with Stapp, the quarterback, for the first time into the game. And it's a dribbled snap back to Stapp. Stapp rolling to the left side. He'll now have to run it, and he'll get 2 yards out to the 10. Rob Bird again on the tackle for Bucknell. Willie Hill also there to help out, as was Michael Haggerty. But the big difference was when the snap didn't come back clean, the whole play broke down.
And I've been in the shotgun formation before, and typically when there's a bad snap, it throws the whole timing of a play off. And usually it's very consequential in how that play turns out. And Michael Haggerty right there just fouled the football. He was on a blitz anyways and was able to track down Stapp from behind.
Gain of 2 for Stapp. It's now 2nd and 20. Stapp again will go out of the shotgun. Again, a low pass from center, but this time Stapp able to handle it. Throws it out in the right flat, and Hopkins drops the ball at the 15. Plain and simple dropped it. May have heard footsteps from either Parham or Bird. It'll be incomplete. It'll now be 3rd and 20. Score from the Bronx. Early in the second quarter, Lehigh with a 7-point lead on Fordham. It's Lehigh 7, Fordham nothing. So we'll see how that game plays out throughout. And now Holy Cross with a 3rd and 20 to have to try to convert right here. They'll send Laboranti to the left. Hopkins and Myers will go to the right side. And again, for the 3rd play in a row, it'll be a shotgun situation for Holy Cross. Key man is the snapper, David Walker. And again, the pass from center is bobbled. It's dribbled back. Stapp will run it up the middle. He'll get nowhere near the first down. And in fact, he'll fumble the football. The Bisons seem to think they have it. And if they have recovered it, Holy Cross will be a minus 25 on the turnover for the season. And the Bison will get the fumble.
And I think Charlie Crudup might be at the bottom of that pile.
It was. George Hawanitz also down there on the bottom as well.
It's
and
hard
the
to see.
Bison defensive backs were there ready as Stapp had the ball knocked out of his hand.
Crudup came up very, very aggressively once he saw the ball on the ground. It looked like he rolled on it, but it might have been George that actually recovered it. But it was a great strip of Stapp, which forced the fumble.
So Bucknell takes over at the Holy Cross 24. They run Lemon to the right side. He'll lose a couple back to the 26. Brian Regan, the first man to get to him for Holy Cross. We roll under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. No score. Bucknell, for its second time in as many drives, is inside the Holy Cross 30.
And I think Bucknell really has to think touchdown here, Bob, because if you get the ball even down to the 10-yard line and are forced to kick a field goal into this win, the wind may be too strong even to make it from that distance.
2nd and a dozen. Sikowski to the right, Phillips to the left. Backs in an offset eye. Holy Cross in a 5-man front. Fox back to pass. Has time. Throws over the middle of the tight end. Cal Wilcox makes the catch inside the 15. Actually, they'll spot his knee down at the 15, leaving him just short of the first down. We'll call it a gain of 11, and Bucknell will be looking at a 3rd and 1.
It was good timing with the tight end over there, but I'm still looking at Rich Lemon, and nobody is still picking him up on any swing route coming out of the backfield. Eventually, they're going to have to exploit that situation. I think they're going to have a nice gain on their hands.
Does he say anything to Fox when he comes back in?
I see him shaking his head all the time.
3rd and 1. Backs in an offset eye. Lemon the tail. Fullback shaded to the left side. We'll see if Bucknell goes to the run. They do. Lemon trying to cut back to the right side. Should have the first down inside the 14. It'll be close, but I think it's enough to move the sticks as we roll under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. No score. Bucknell knocking on the door in the red zone. And speaking of the red zone, last week in the first half, Bucknell 3 for 3 when they got a first down inside the 20.
And they needed that. You know, it's a week-to-week thing. There's no guarantee any week that you've turned a corner and that you're going to be able to convert those, but it should give you some confidence entering the next week that you can move the chains, that you can get the touchdowns when you have to.
Sikowski to the right, Phillips to the left, Myers and Lemon now in the traditional eye. Tight end is shaded to the left side for Bucknell. Holy Cross in a 5-man front. Fox overlooking the defense, calling out the signals. Play clock rolls under 10 as Bucknell has a first down at the Holy Cross 14. Fox quick out left side to Phillips, makes the catch at the 9. Terrence Browning will tackle him right on the spot, but a pickup of 5 on the play, and Bucknell will have a 2nd and 5. And that little quick out should be there almost all the time because Holy Cross's secondary giving him that cushion there.
Well, they walked Doxey up to try and take away the run, and then they stemmed the defense right at the last second. And Fox made the right call. They were 1-on-1 out there in the corner, and Phillips made a nice catch.
They'll actually spot the knee down at the 10, so instead of a gain of 5, it's a pickup of 4. So it's 2nd and 6. Bucknell can get a first down at the Holy Cross 4-yard line. Myers in motion out of the backfield from his fullback spot. He'll go into the pattern. Fox will be sacked again back at the 15. He hasn't gone down, but Holy Cross has been able to stop his progress. Big Brian Regan, the nose guard and captain for Holy Cross, got him. And Bucknell now will have the ball back on the 14, so they'll look at a 3rd and 10 with 1:35 to go in quarter number 1.
And I still think they need to go to the end zone on this play right here because this win is going to be such a factor for Richie Miller to kick into that I think that they've got to try and get the 6 points while they can right now because there's no guarantee that from this distance a field goal is going to be any good.
Ball at the 14-yard line. Bucknell break the huddle. They have just 6 seconds on the play clock. They better hurry. Fox is not going to have a lot of time to audibilize or do anything, and now we'll spend a timeout. will take it with him. 1:08 to go in the first quarter. Bucknell and Holy Cross scoreless. When we return, it's 3rd and 10 Bison. You're listening to Bucknell football on the Bison Sports Network. Third down and 10 coming up for the Bison. The ball on the 14. They need to get to the 4. 4 wide receivers set. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Lemon the lone back. No score if you're just joining us. First quarter between Bucknell and Holy Cross. Perkins in motion, puts 3 wide receivers to the right. They flare it out to Perkins, makes the catch all alone at the 10, dives for the goal line and the pylon, but they're going to say the ankle got caught out at the 3, so Bucknell will have a 1st and goal there. They overloaded the right side, Brian Baldinger, and nobody picked up O.J. Perkins.
Nobody came in motion with him because they were blitzing, so the man that was supposed to probably cover him on the other side came on the blitz, and the Crusaders so far into this win when Bucknell's had the ball has really mixed and disguised their defenses, blitzing almost every single play, walking safeties up, and I think it's confused Jim Fox to this point. But on that play, he made the right read. He got the ball to Perkins, and Perkins made a great effort to try to get into the end zone.
20th catch of the year for Perkins, over 250 yards in receptions. Bucknell with a 1st and goal now at the 3-yard line. In motion, it's Ron Rocket for the Bison. Backs in an eye, they'll hand it to Lemon. Lemon to the left side. Lemon fumbled the football. Ball loose in the end zone, and the Bison have turned it over. It'll be a touchback for Holy Cross, as the Bison will have fumbled the football. It is only the 7th fumble of the season for Bucknell, and you know, I got to tell you a story, Brian. Dick Riley, I think the running backs coach, jinxed the Bison running backs, because on Thursday he told me the Bison running backs had not fumbled all season.
That's usually what happens, that type of curse. It's the worst thing that you can ever say is, you know, as soon as Rodney Hampton, they started saying about, touting about how many times he's run the football without fumbling. He's fumbled 5 times since then. But I think Lemon thinks his leg was down on the ground, and the ground caused that fumble as he tried to stretch the ball over the goal line, and then it came loose.
Turnovers are even at 1 apiece. The ball back to the 20-yard line for Holy Cross. Down to 51 seconds to go in the first quarter. Handoff up the middle to Walls, eludes a couple of tacklers. We'll get out to about the 24 or 25. Terrence Parham finally able to knock him down for the Bison with help from free safety Mark Miller, who was over the 200 mark in career tackles for the Bison, a senior out of Orlando, Florida. So it'll be a 2nd and 5 coming up for Holy Cross. Hopkins will go to the left. They'll play with the 2 tight ends. Going to the right, it's Laboranti, and again, Holy Cross with a single back. 2nd and 5. They need to get to the 30 for a 1st down. Stapp hands off to Walls. He'll try the left side. Very little gain. Rob Bird, the linebacker, again makes the stop for the Bison.
That fumble is not sitting very well with the coaching staff of Bucknell right now. Nobody feels worse than Rich Lemon, but Norris Wilson, the very large offensive line coach of the Bison, is really taking to task the offensive line and chewing them out individually, man to man. You know, it's time to put this team away. Let's get busy. Let's stop dinking around. These holes should be much bigger than they are right now. Rich Lemon shouldn't even be touched getting into the end zone, and I'm sure he's emphasizing that right now.
Got a break in the action as the first quarter ends. It's scoreless between Bucknell and Holy Cross. You're listening to Bucknell football on the Bison Sports Network. Teams have changed ends. Bucknell now will have the win, but Holy Cross still on offense as we move into the second quarter scoreless. The Crusaders now with a 3rd and 3 from their own 27. They run the ball to Sanchez, and there's a slight little crease over the right side. He'll pick up the 1st down, gain 5 out to the 32-yard line.
Well, that's the 2nd time now on 3rd down where they've run that off-tackle play where they pull the backside guard and tackle, and that time they were able to crease the Bucknell defense and pick up the 1st down. Interesting stats here in the first quarter. Bucknell, time of possession, 10 minutes and 15 seconds versus the Crusaders, only 4 minutes and 45 seconds. The Crusaders only had the ball 8 plays in that first quarter.
And I think the factor that is even bigger is that Holy Cross had the win in that quarter. 1st down and 10 for Holy Cross. They run the ball to J.R. Walls, who'll get a couple up the middle before being knocked down by Hunter Adams and also by Rob Bird. The Bison with the time of possession, and I'm sure that's going to translate into a lot of yardage, especially when Lemon went 51 yards on one play.
Well, the big statistic, of course, is that it's still 0-0. Lemon fumbles in the end zone. A questionable call in my mind, but Bucknell able to amass 99 yards of offense in that first quarter, and Holy Cross not being able to pick up a 1st down in the first quarter, only 26 yards.
2nd and 8. Holy Cross did get a 1st down in the first series here in the second quarter. They'll run the ball again up the middle for very little yardage. That time it was Rob Sanchez. He and Walls was not Rob Sanchez. It was the fullback James Nelson, who's only carried the ball now 15 times in 9 games. Fullback used primarily as a blocker for Holy Cross.
And the big trend that we've seen out of Bucknell all year long is this inability to really get the scores on the board when they have an opportunity in the first quarter, and it usually means that they have to turn it on in the fourth quarter to win the football game.
This quarter could be a big quarter for the Bison. I'll give you a couple of numbers after this. 3rd down and 6. Stapp setting up a screen, has the ball tipped by Hunter Adams, and it's nearly intercepted by Pat Feely. He trapped it on the 25-yard line, and Pat almost had his first interception of his career as a nose guard.
And it's a nose tackle dream to be able to intercept the football. Actually, they line up so close to that ball all day long, and they never get a chance to touch it. And Pat really looked like he was hungry for that football, went diving for it. Maybe they ought to put him at a wideout.
So we look at these numbers, Brian. Bucknell in the second quarter, by far their best quarter. They've scored 27 points in the first, third, and fourth quarters each. They've scored 66 points in the quarter, and they've given up only 23. As McClinchy on to punt for Holy Cross. Pretty good punt into the wind. Phillips will make the catch, run straight up the middle to the 40, gets a block from Josh Lebrecht to the 50, to the 45, out to the 40-yard line. Easily the longest return of the season for Mike Phillips, and it'll be to the 40-yard line, and that record will tie a mark of Phil Metzler with 48 career punt returns, and Phillips has a special one there for the Bison. Only 27 yards on the punt and a very nice return to the 40-yard line, a 23-yard return for Phillips.
It was horrible coverage by the wideouts of Holy Cross there, as Phillips was able to split them, and he got great lead blocking from Josh Lebrecht, which was able to lead him down the left sideline right there. Right now, Bucknell, great field position with the wind at their back. It's time to get on the board.
1st and 10 at the 40. Fox will throw with the wind, throws it to Noteboom, makes a catch at the 35. Good running after the catch inside the 30 to the 26-yard line on the tackle, free safety Justin Relihan. I gave you Bucknell's numbers, scoring and what they've given up. How about these numbers, Brian? Holy Cross in the second quarter has scored only 17 points, and they've given up 82.
Well, I hope that trend continues today. Noteboom, who leads his team with almost a 16-yard average per catch, picked up 14 on that catch. He always seems to be able to do something with it after he receives the football.
1st and 10, Bucknell at the 26. They'll run Lemon to the right side for just a couple. Following a block of tackle Marius Misiak, sophomore from Florida. On the tackle for Holy Cross that time was David Harris, the inside linebacker. So Bucknell will have a 2nd and 7 after a pickup of 3 to the Holy Cross 23. No score, 12.5 minutes to go in the first half.
And although Bucknell's been held scoreless so far this half, they've played very, very hard. A lot of guys downfield making some blocks, and that usually leads up to big plays coming up later on.
2nd and 7 at the 23. They need to get to the 16 for a first down. Fox back to pass. Left side to Noteboom. Wide open again. Makes a catch to 15. Gets knocked out of bounds around the 13. Bumping him out was Cedric Rogers, the corner. But again, Noteboom has been given a lot of cushion. He could have more catches than he does right now. Noteboom has made 3 catches for 29 yards. But I can think of a couple of times Fox overshot him.
He looks like a totally different quarterback right now with the wind at his back. He's really setting his feet. He's throwing the ball with a lot more confidence and a lot more accuracy as we see Rich Lemon coming, limping off the field a little bit, looking for a blow. I think that foot is still bothering him, or it's either the leg or the calf or something. Lower leg is bothering him. He's coming out for a play.
Got to tell you a story about last week when he had all that tape on his feet. 1st and 10. Fox back to pass from the 13. Throws it over the middle. It's intended, it looked like, for Jason Donkers. A couple of Holy Cross guys thought they could have had it. Ill-advised pass. 2nd and 10. It was knocked down from the 13. Trainer Steve Zinder taped both feet. So so Lafayette last week wouldn't know which one was the hurt one.
Well, I've never heard of that psychology before. They had a hard time stopping him when it counted, though. He had a big day last week.
So Bucknell now will regroup and have a 2nd and 10 from the 13. Sikowski to the left with Perkins. To the right side, Phillips and Noteboom. So Bucknell on the 4 wide receiver set. They call this the Eagle set. Lemon the lone back. Perkins in motion again. This was a big play for him last time as no one came in motion. And this time, Fox gives it off on a draw to Lemon, who'll get a couple down to the 11-yard line. Holy Cross reacted well to that draw play that time for the defense.
And if you notice, out of that Eagle set, that time when Perkins came across in motion, they had Antonio Harris following him so that they weren't going to blitz that time. They picked it up. They turned out to run the draw anyways, but if they were going to come back to that play again, they're going to have that thing covered.
They have the win now, but still Bucknell has got to feel coming up a little empty if they can't pick up a first down here. Sikowski to the left, Noteboom to the right. Tight end Stover on the right side. Backs in an offset eye. Myers almost up on a wing left side. Fox back to pass. 5-man rush. Fox hit as he throws, and because of that, underthrows Nopum at the goal line. Nopum was in the goal line, and the pass fluttered down at about the 3, and Rich Miller will come on for a field goal. This season, Miller, 10 of 18, needs just 2 seasonal field goals to tie the season mark of 12 by Al Yuknes.
And some confusion on the pass protection last time between Jason Donkers and Brian Gay on the left side, as the defensive end was able to split those 2 guys and put pressure on Berman, not going to pass off balance.
This will be a 28-yard attempt. Bobbled snap. Sikowski will pick it up and have to run with it. Sikowski looking to throw, throws it, and it's intercepted by Holy Cross. Holy Cross coming up with the interception. David Streeter, the linebacker. So the Bison will turn it over for the second time, and that play was not going to go anywhere as the snap was not being able to be handled by Sikowski. They fired out to try to get something, and once again, Bucknell has come up with a blank, and there's still no score with 11-11 to go in the half.
Scotty Lennox did not get a good short snap back to John Sikowski, or Wilcox did not get a good short snap back to Sikowski on that play. They weren't able to get the ball down, and they have a fire drill that they practice when there's a bad snap, but that didn't look like it ran well. And then John threw a bad pass, just a foiled opportunity with the wind at their back.
So Holy Cross will take over on their own 17. Glad to have kept Bucknell off the scoreboard. Stapp with a quick out. That ball may have been tipped at the line. It was intended for John Myers, who caught the winning touchdown last year for Holy Cross on the coverage. Freshman Eric Musey, who was the Patriot League's Rookie of the Week last week for his 2 interceptions.
This is something that you don't see very often, but head coach Tom Gadd is addressing the entire offense right now, taking time away from the defensive one, the action, to be able to tell these guys. Sanchez will get about 3 out to the 20. Holy Cross will have another 3rd and long, 3rd down and 7. And on the day, they have not fared well, just 1 out of 5 on 3rd down conversions.
3rd down.
The opportunities, and it seems like they've been able to keep this team in the game week after week, and hopefully, in the second half, the offense catches up a little bit, makes a couple of plays.
3rd and 7 for the Cross, 10.5 minutes to go, no score, second quarter. Stapp has time, throws over the middle. The tight end, Alex Dempster, the senior, makes the catch and has the first down out across the 30 to the 33-yard line, a pickup of 13 for Holy Cross, and I believe that's only their second first down of the game.
That's only Dempster's 9th catch of the year. He averages about 10 yards a catch, though, so it seems like they probably come at opportune times when they've got to be able to move the chains, get the first down. They were able to do that and hold on to the football here for another series.
Dempster, a converted linebacker. They needed a tight end and moved him over. 1st and 10 for Holy Cross. Laborani in motion to give him 2 wide receivers to the left side. Stapp will hand it to the left side. Carrying the ball is Sanchez. He'll get a couple out to the 35. Rob Bird from the linebacker spot made the tackle. Help with Pat Feely in the middle for the Bison.
One consistent factor on this defense is that any team that tries to run between the tackles, Rob Bird's going to get to the football.
And Rob Bird, again, over 100 tackles on the season. And with 3 or 4 or 5 today, he's over 200 for his career. And Rob has been one of the guys on this defense that I think has really stepped his play up from last year to really make this Bison defense go. 2nd and 8. Stapp will hand the ball to Walls, and this time Willie Hill. First guy to come in there, untouched from the outside linebacker spot. Brandon Little and Rob Bird with support there, but it was Hill who made the play.
And it's a good thing Will made that play from the front side, really knifing in from his outside linebacking position to make that tackle, because there was a good cutback lane there. Rob Bird had overrun the play and had looked to cut back that play back. There was a nice little crease there. Probably would have picked up some yardage if Willie wasn't there on the front side.
Bucknell will make a substitution. Michael Haggerty will come in for Steve Pratico at one of the linebacker spots, as Holy Cross will stare at a 3rd down and about 7 to go for a first down. 4-man line for the Bison. Stapp will roll to the right side. Being chased, throws it over the middle, and it's nearly intercepted by Rob Bird. He knocked it down. George Hawanitz had great coverage on the receiver, John Myers. That ball wasn't going to be complete either way, but Bird almost had another turnover for the Bison cause.
And one of the factors is that Michael Haggerty, the middle linebacker, was red dogging on the play, so if his running back did not come out of the backfield in a pass pattern, he was free to blitz, and he put some pressure on Stapp right there, made him force him to throw a bad pass.
4th down and 7. High snap to McGlinchey, but Holy Cross with good protection. Tumbling kick. It'll bounce at the 43 of Bucknell and be down at the 44-yard line as it took a Bison bounce by one of the Holy Cross secondary men. That was Robert Sewell, who was down there to touch it. Not much on the punt, about 20-plus yards, and Bucknell will get excellent field position just shy of their own 45.
Bucknell has dominated the action out here today. They're getting the ball at their own 45-yard line. Excellent field position. The wind at their back. It's time for them to relax, concentrate each play, every individual making his play, doing his assignment, and putting this thing together, making it work, getting 6 points out of this drive.
1st and 10, Bucknell just short of their own 45. Fox, 3-step drop, throws it left side to Sikowski, makes a catch at the 50, and then fights to the 45 for the first down. Once again, good yardage after the catch. Sikowski made the grab, Holy Cross made the tackle, but it was too late. The sticks will move. And the Bison have done a good job this afternoon on first downs, Brian. They have picked up 4 or more yards on 6 of 12 first down tries.
And that play appears to be there all day long. Whenever Fox wants that, it looks like it's there. These corners are playing a good 6-7 yards off the wide receivers.
8 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the half, no score. Ball on the left hash, 1st and 10 at the Holy Cross 45. A little delay to Lemon. Lemon will get 4, maybe 5 yards. Running down the left hash, close to the 40-yard line. Harris on the tackle. Also coming back from the nose guard spot was Brian Regan. We'll call it a pickup of 5 for the Bison. 2nd and 5 from the Holy Cross 40. And the Bison offense continues to move the ball between, say, the 10s, but yet they have yet to put points on the board as we're less than 8 minutes to go in the half. Fox under center, backs in an eye. Fox, quick drop, throws it in the flat to Nobu, makes the fingertip catch. It'll be very close to a first down. Be about a yard short. Making the tackle up there quickly was Robert Sewell, but at 6'1", 6'2", Nobu, pretty tall receiver. Fox threw it high, and the defender had trouble.
And the way that this defense is playing right now, they're giving Noteboom single coverage. And you got to like that matchup right now, especially when the corner on this side, Sewell, is playing 7-8 yards off the line of scrimmage. That play is just there, and we've all seen how Steve is, how productive he is after he catches the football. He breaks a tackle, he's going to go a long ways.
3rd and 1 for Bucknell. They're 3 of 7 on 3rd downs. Fox calling out the signal. 6 seconds to go. Moves a couple of his receivers down to 4 on the play clock. Fox on 3rd and 1, going long for Sikowski. Man for man with Sewell, and it's incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th and 1, and we'll see if Bucknell will decide to go for it. And it appears they are, as they're bringing in Stover and Rocket, a couple of extra blockers. They're going to leave Wilcox on the field. So Bucknell figured it was close enough that they were going to go for it on 4th down, and they're going to go with the heavy lineup now.
Well, the key is their mindset. They were in 4-down territory. I think that they were going to go on to 4th down if they had to anyways, and they were going up top, maybe going for the big play on that play. So I admire their aggressive style of thinking right now. Now they've got to convert this.
Right, you're looking at a 50-plus yard field goal, which you're not going to try, and you figure you're too close to punt as the ball is just short of the 35-yard line. Fox to Lemon, follows a Myers block. He's got the first down at the 34-yard line. And I'll tell you what, Jeff Bombick has done a good job at fullback this year for Bucknell. But at 6'1", 220, Jeremy Myers gives you that extra presence in the backfield that you can have a lead play like that.
He was so effective last week in leading on a number of plays, a couple of touchdowns by Rich Lemon, and he just seems to have a real flair for being able to cut guys down right at the line of scrimmage. And Richie seems to read off him real well, you know, going inside or outside depending on what Jeremy does.
1st and 10 for Bucknell at the Holy Cross 34. Backs in an offset eye. Fox looking over a 5-man front for Holy Cross. He'll go back to pass on a straight drop. Pumps once, airs it out long. Noboom's got a step at the goal line, and oh, it's incomplete. In and out of his hands. Robert Sewell came back at the last minute to knock it away. It's incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 34.
We just mentioned how this defense is deployed. It really gives Noboom one-on-one coverage with the corner out there, Sewell, and he gave him a nice out and then up move. And Fox, the key, had the time to be able to pump fake and then deliver that football. I think he threw it too late. If he'd gotten it out there a little bit earlier, that was a sure 6 points.
Because Noboom had more distance between himself and Sewell earlier. Sewell was able to close as the ball hung in the air.
The key for that quarterback is you got to deliver it right after the pump, because that's when there's the most separation from the defensive back.
2nd and 10 at the 34. Fox on a delay to Lemon. Lemon trying to move it across the line of scrimmage. Cuts back, has a couple of yards, still churning, and it'll be 3rd and long coming up for the Bucknell offense just inside the 35 at about the 33. Score now, Lehigh has bumped the ante to 10-0 over Fordham with looks like about 27 seconds to go in the half. And the other Patriot League game, Colgate and Lafayette, we have no report on that one yet.
They brought in just the one wide receiver, Perkins, this time, so they're going 3 wide receivers. Lemon will be in the backfield here along with Myers. I look for Lemon finally coming out of the backfield here for them to look for him because nobody has been able to pick him up.
I think we're in 4-down territory again, Brian, because it'd be a long field goal from here, and I don't think you're going to punt. 3rd and 9. Fox flares it out to Lemon, makes a catch in the backfield. 35, jukes a man, gets to the 30, and Bucknell will have a 4th and 6. Dan Gooden, the linebacker, made the stop for Holy Cross, and it appears the offense is going to stay on the field because it's 4th and 6. You're looking at a 47, 48-yard field goal, or you're looking at probably a touchback on a punt.
Oh, this is definitely 4-down territory, but on that play, Fox has to let that play develop a little bit more. Let the linebackers and the defensive backs drop in coverage, start to double up on Noteboom and Perkins, and then throw the ball to Rich. He'll give him a lot more separation, a lot more time away from the defenders.
Down to 5 minutes to go in the half. No score. Bucknell with a 4th and 6. They need to get to the 24. Fox back to pass, throws over the middle. Sikowski gets hit, but holds on to the ball at the 19 for a first down. A gain of 11 to John Sikowski. He got hit by Robert Sewell, but hangs on to the football. And John Sikowski now with a total of 3 catches on the day.
That timing between these two guys is sharper than a needle right now. That ball was thrown with a lot of authority by Jim Fox. There was no question that he was going to be able to put that ball right into Sikowski's hands. Great pitch and catch combination.
1st and 10, Bucknell. They're in the red zone again at the 19-yard line. Backs in an eye. Noteboom to the left, Sikowski to the right. Fox, 2-step drop in the flat, throws it to Sikowski, makes a catch at the 15, jukes a man. He'll get inside the 5, or actually they're going to say he stepped out at about the 6 or the 7, but good enough for another first down. A gain of a dozen to Sikowski, and that little pass in the flat, Holy Cross giving up that underneath stuff, and that time they had trouble reacting once the ball was caught.
The key was Jim Fox really read that defense well as they blitzed the strong safety, Doxey, which gave single coverage to Sikowski out there, and they were able to make that play. And like we've mentioned, all these receivers are able to do something with the ball after they catch it. John broke the tackle and almost was able to run it to the end zone.
Fox now 12 of 20 on the day for 111 yards. 1st and goal, Bucknell at the 7. Fox to the run, hands it to Lemon. Lemon will get to the 5, spin inside the 5 to the 4. It'll be 2nd and goal from there. David Harris on the tackle for Holy Cross. 4:20 to go in the first half. No score, but the Bison with an excellent opportunity here. 2nd and goal just outside the 3.
And I don't want to speak too soon about and maybe jinxing this offensive football team right now, but this is a really pretty drive that they've put together, really mixing up the run and the pass very well. And the key, I think, has been Fox. Great job reading the defenses so far and delivering the ball to the open man.
Double tight ends. Rocket, the only receiver. He'll go in motion from left to right. The backs are in an eye. Fox toss it left side. Gets a Myers block, cuts back, and scores the touchdown. A 4-yard run for Rich Lemon, and with 3:51 to go in the second quarter, it is 6-0 Bucknell. The same formula as we saw in Lemon's 2 touchdowns. Give the ball to Lemon and let Myers block.
And the key is Jeremy Myers, as he was able to just bury Matt Berquist, the outside linebacker there on that play, and Lemon just cut inside that block, and he read it perfectly. It was a well-executed play of a well-executed drive.
6-0, Miller on for the extra point. He's 13 of 15 on the season, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. We've got a break in the action. 3:51 to go in the half. Bucknell 7, Holy Cross nothing. We'll be back with more after this timeout. You're listening to Bucknell Football on the Bison Sports Network.
21, Robert Sewell.
Bison draw first blood on Parents Weekend. Good crowd on hand on a cold, windy day. 3:51 to go in the half. 7-0, and Bucknell could easily be ahead more than that. Ross Coleman will kick off with the wind. High end over end kick will go into the end zone, and Sewell is going to think about it. Thought about downing it. Now comes out, gets out to the 15, to the 20, out to the 21. Brian Davis makes the tackle, and I think there was a little bit of hesitancy by Robert Sewell, thinking, can I down it or not?
There was hesitancy, and normally that bodes not very well, as you don't usually get good returns. But Sewell is a dangerous guy. Did return a kickoff against Lafayette, I think, for 90 yards and a touchdown just a couple of weeks ago.
So Holy Cross will start 1st and 10 at the 21 with 3:46 to go in a game statistically thus far dominated by Bucknell, both offensively and defensively. Holy Cross will now put 3 receivers to the right side. Staff will hand it back to Myers, coming around in a reverse to the left side from the receiver spot. He'll get out across the 25 to about the 28-yard line with a pickup of 7. Brian Little and Willie Jackson. Good to see Willie Jackson out there for Bucknell, coming back from the knee injury. He missed the last 3 games with a sprained knee, and practiced, is playing with a brace, has been a little uncomfortable with it, Brian, but he's been able to get out there and do it.
It takes a while for a player to get confidence after a knee injury, you know, to be able to have the confidence to plan on that leg and not think about it. If you're thinking about the leg, then you can't play effectively.
2nd and 3 after the 7-yard gain to Myers. They'll hand the ball to Sanchez over the right side. Feely will miss a tackle, and that'll result in a Holy Cross first down. One of the few times this year that a running back has been able to run out of the grasp of one of Bucknell's defensive linemen this year. And Sanchez will pick up about 5 and move the sticks for Holy Cross. 3.5 minutes to go in the period. Bucknell 7, Holy Cross nothing.
Yeah, Pat's very strong and a very stout player, and he hasn't missed many tackles like that when he's had the opportunities in the backfield, but that one could have been for a loss as he got excellent penetration off the snap.
And the officials will stop the clock for a moment. They want to reset something. And it appears the chains have gotten snagged on the far sideline. So we'll hold up for that. Bucknell next week at Colgate. No more home games. Colgate and Army.
Columbia 7. Also in the second.
We'll be on the air at 12:30. And Brian, I don't know if you've been to Colgate before, but it should be termed Coldgate, C-O-L-D-G-A-T-E.
Well, the only thing colder than the weather today is the Holy Cross offense, as they really haven't been able to put anything together thus far today.
1st and 10, Holy Cross with just 3 first downs in the first half. They came into the game averaging 18 a game. 1st and 10, Holy Cross from their own 34. Stapp will roll to the right side. That's the short side of the field. Hunter Adams chases him. Stapp throws the ball downfield, and it's nearly caught by Myers. But at the last minute, Mark Miller lowered the boom, and Myers doesn't hang on. Would have been complete for about 20 yards into Bucknell territory. Good defense by the Bison secondary.
That actually wasn't a bad throw by Stapp, and the ball was in Myers' hand, but a great job of stripping by Mark Miller to prevent that pass from being completed.
Now Holy Cross with a 2nd and 10 from their own 34. 3:16 to go. Bucknell's defense obviously thinking about a stop here, and Bucknell's team has done very well offensively at the end of the half, moving in that 2-minute drill to get points. Stapp out of the shotgun. Finally a good pass from center. Stapp has time, hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Getting to him first for the Bison was Hunter Adams, and Adams has done a nice job this year forcing quarterbacks to change their throws either by hitting him or getting his big hands in the way.
Hunter's a good compliment to Ed Berman on the other side. You know, typically you don't like to have to load up on one side where they're giving all the double-team pressure to Ed Berman, but that time Rob Bird also blitzed from his middle linebacking position. He really likes to do that, and he also applied a lot of pressure to Stapp.
3rd and 10, Holy Cross just averaging 2 yards a play. They've run 26 snaps of the football for just 52 yards in total offense. Stapp again out of the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Nice pass from center. Stapp on a quarterback draw across the 35, the 40, gets close to the first down, and his second effort will get him out to the 45. He needed 10. He picked up 11, and Stapp at 6'2", 200 pounds, has rushed this season for nearly 200 yards. He and Fox are the only starting quarterbacks in the 16 Patriot League with plus yardage running the football.
He looks comfortable running the football. He looks like he might be their best running back back there, and I think that he definitely has that authority out of the shotgun formation to run his own draw play.
Stapp is carried for 20 yards today, Walls for 19, and Sanchez for 16, so you're right, he is their leading ground gainer. 1st and 10, Stapp back to the air, throws it to Hopkins, who'll make his first catch of the day. Eric Musey will wrap him up on the spot. It'll be a gain of 5 to the 50. 2nd and 5 coming up for Holy Cross. We have 2:53 to go in the first half. 7-0 Bucknell.
The reason why that quarterback draw is effective is that, first of all, they've got the defense spread out with a bunch of wide receivers out there, 3 wide receivers in their last formation. And so the defense is spread out. There's only one middle linebacker, Rob Bird, in the middle. And if you can beat him, you've got a little bit of running room.
2nd down and 5, again out of the shotgun. They've done it on the whole drive. Stapp to Labarani, crossing route, has the first down, makes a catch at the 45, gets inside the 45 to the 43, a pickup of 8. And this is Holy Cross's best drive of the day, and it appears that they've been able to do something with the shotgun once they've gotten the snaps down.
One thing that you notice about this Holy Cross offense is there's not a tremendous amount of speed. Even if these kids catch the ball wide open like Myers just did, or Labaranti, or even Hopkins, they don't look like they have the speed to be able to break away from any of the defenders. 1st and 10 now for the Crusaders at the 43 of Bucknell. Bison in a 5-man line, again out of the shotgun. Flags are down, and it appears that somebody must have moved early because they didn't even let the play continue. Clock stops, just 2:19 left to go in the half. 7-0 Bucknell in front. And Bird will come out and get a breather. Maybe with something wrong with his helmet. His equipment manager, Kenny Hare, will take a look at it.
Start on the offense.
And it's an illegal procedure call against the Crusaders, so the 5-yard penalty will be assessed, and they'll now have a 1st and 15.
football players, especially a guy like Rob Bird, hate to come out because of some kind of equipment failure. That time I think his ear pad broke or something. I'm surprised he just didn't rip it out and just stay in.
Holy Cross probably excited about that. Bucknell will blitz on 1st and 15. Haggerty forces the throw by Stapp as nobody touched the Bison linebacker Michael Haggerty, who really had a good game last week against Lafayette, playing very well here today. It's now 2nd and 15.
And Dave Katulski's got a nice little wrinkle in this game here as the linebackers, either it's Haggerty or Rob Bird, are red dogging, meaning if they have a running back that's staying in to pass protect, they're waiting to see if he comes out. If he comes out, they cover him. If he stays in to block, then they come on a blitz. They come a little bit delayed, and the quarterback doesn't have time to pick him up.
2nd and 15. Hopkins and Myers to the right, Labarani to the left. Out of the shotgun. Rolling to the right is Stapp. Stapp being pressured, and again hit as he throws the ball, trapped by Hopkins. Willie Hill had him as Stapp was trying to get the ball going, and that's got to be disconcerting for a quarterback. Every time you want to throw, somebody's either on your arms, your shoulders, or your feet.
He's wearing number 19, the same number that Joe Montana wore, and one thing that Joe was able to do throughout his career was buy a little bit of time to be able to get the ball off, and right now Stapp isn't even able to do that, although he runs pretty well.
So now Holy Cross with a 3rd and 15. Clock stopped on the incompletion with 1:54 to go in the half. Holy Cross will break the huddle, sending Labarani to the right, Hopkins to the left. Myers will also go over there. Actually, it's Chad Vaughn now going to the left side, the backup quarterback turned receiver. Stapp back to pass, hit as he throws again, and another incompletion. Will be 4th and 15. And Holy Cross will punt it away. And I guess unlike the Eagles, they have turned their backup quarterback into a wide receiver in Chad Vaughn.
They do have a play in there for Randall Cunningham, but I think they only run it in practice. At that time, Labarani was wide open underneath, and Stapp either didn't see him or he was trying to get it to him when he got hit simultaneously.
1:48 to go in the half. McGlinchey will be on to punt for Holy Cross with the win, against the wind, I should say. High kick. Phillips will come up and make the fair catch, and they're going to flag Sewell for 5 yards for not giving Phillips enough room to return. In the wind, that's a tricky ball with the defender right there. Nice job by Phillips.
Yeah, that was Sewell definitely has to give him a step to be able to catch that football. It was good concentration by Phillips, but I think that the wind was holding the ball up, and Sewell didn't realize that the ball was actually coming backwards and not going forward. It kind of confused his timing.
So Bucknell will take over with 1:40 to go in the half, leading 7-0. The ball at the 29, their own.
And there's time here to do something with this ball, Bob. I don't think that they're going to be content taking a knee and running out the clock here this half. They have the wind behind them, and I think it's going to make them play their hand here. As I see Phillips in the game, and their 3 wide receivers set, I think they're going to go down the field here.
I think they should. Bucknell has been able to move the football. 1:40 is what they have to work. 2 timeouts. Fox back to pass, throws it underneath the Lemon. Bullet pass. Lemon can't handle it, and it nearly wound up in the arms of David Streeter of Holy Cross for an interception. Incomplete. Clock stop. 1:35 remaining. 2nd and 10 from the Bucknell 29.
I don't think Lemon thought he was going to get the football on that play, and looked like he didn't even know it was coming at him. He was wide open underneath, and Fox took a tremendous hit on that play. He looks all right getting up, but Brian Regan, the nose guard, really leveled him as he released that football.
2nd and 10 for Bucknell. Lemon the lone back. The Bison now will employ 4 wide receivers on this set. Lennox over the ball at center. Back to pass is Fox. Fox throws it left side. Noteboom there. Makes the catch and gets out of bounds to boot. It'll be a first down out of bounds at the 43. Gain of 14 on the play to Noteboom. And that time, Fox made the right read, and Noteboom made the catch.
Beautiful, beautiful play right there. And the best thing about it was Noteboom was able to get out of bounds. It was thrown towards the sideline. Those are the kind of plays that you want in a 2-minute drill.
And they've only used 10 seconds to move the ball out across the 40 to the 43. 1:30 remains in the half. Again, Bucknell with 2 timeouts remaining. They'll continue with the 4 wide receiver set and now give it off to Lemon on a draw. Lemon to the left side, 45-50, 45-40, and he'll get out of bounds at the Holy Cross 39-yard line. So Lemon on the scamper with 2 runs of pretty good distance, gets just inside the 40. We'll call it a pickup of 17. And more importantly, since Lemon made it to the sidelines, he stopped the clock.
Great call. Right there, they're in the Eagle set, 4 wide receivers. The Holy Cross defense really spread out, only 1 man in the box, just like we talked about with Stapp, the quarterback, when they ran that draw. They just ran the draw to Lemon. He beat the middle linebacker Streeter there.
They continue with the same formation. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Fox back to pass, 1st and 10. Throws underneath to Perkins, who makes the catch and then loses his footing. It'll be a gain of 3. The clock will run minute 17 to go. Perkins was open. If he had held his footing, it would have been another 3 or 4 yards.
This is a real poised offense in the 2-minute drill. We've seen a lot of success out of it this year. We almost thought that this should be part of their regular offensive package.
2nd and 7. Fox back to pass. Holy Cross blitzes. Throws it right side. Nopu makes a catch in front of Sewell and gets out of bounds at the 22. Another pitch and catch for about 14 or 15 yards. Clock stops, 1:01 to go. And the senior, Nopu, last week 4 catches for over 100 yards. A lot of catches today, 6 catches for 62 yards. He's running a clinic on the sophomore Robert Sewell.
And he's really setting Sewell up here for another down and out and up, where he's going to run that out route and then turn it up as a pump fake. Fox is really throwing the ball very well.
1st and 10, Bucknell at the Holy Cross 22. Perkins in motion to the left, 3 receivers over there. Fox looks that way. Perkins open, and now he throws to Nopum over the middle, who makes the catch at the 11-yard line. Fox had too many choices. Perkins was open underneath. Nopum was open over the middle, and now Bucknell is going to spend a timeout. We'll take it with him. They're knocking on the door. 52 seconds to go in the half. You're listening to Bucknell football on the Bison Sports Network.
$1,000 will be made in that player's name to the Bucknell General Scholarship Fund, courtesy of Diversified Record Services. Cliff Mickey Melberger, class of 1961, is captain of Bucknell's 1960 Lambert Cup winning team, and CEO of Diversified Records.
Bison lead by the score of 7-0. 52 seconds to go in the half. Fox is hot. 15 of 24 for 143 on the day.
Big fight out in Las Vegas tonight, Bob, right? Hollowfield Bow. Somebody's going to go for the knockout punch. That's what Bucknell needs to do right here as they wind down the second quarter.
1st and 10 at the 13. Perkins in motion, 3 wide receivers over there to the right side. Fox back to pass, setting up a screen, and unloads it as he was about to be unloaded by linebacker David Streeter. Holy Cross played it well. He overthrew Lemon, but I think he would rather have the incompletion than stopping the clock than the short gain.
Yeah, and that was by design to come back the other side. It was actually the fake double screen where they kind of fake right and then go back to the other side, the short side of the field to Lemon. But O.J. Perkins now twice in a row has come in motion, and nobody has picked him up like we saw in the first quarter at the opposite end of the field. And I think that he's got to come back with that play right now.
4 wide receivers, 2nd down and 10 from the 12. 48 seconds to go in the half. Fox back to pass, throws it for Noteboom and overthrows him at the 2. It is incomplete.
Fox is passing incomplete for Steve Noteboom.
So now there are 44 seconds left, but time really not a big factor. It's more downs now as Bucknell will look at a 3rd and 10.
And O.J. Perkins is really frustrated because they didn't pick him up on that play either. He was wide open in the left corner of the end zone.
44 seconds remain in the half. Bucknell's picked up this ball with 1:40 to go inside their own 30. Bison looking for a 3rd down conversion here. They're just 3 of 9 on the day. They still have plenty of time. 44 seconds left, 1 timeout. They've got to negotiate a 3rd and 10 here from the 13 or 12-yard line. Backs are split. Fox will go to the run, hand it to Lemon. Lemon trying to come back to the short side, and a great play by linebacker David Harris to cut him down in the backfield. He'll lose 1. It'll now be 4th and 11, and I'm sure you got to think field goal here with the wind and 30 seconds to go in the half.
You would think so, but this hasn't been a real sound operation for them today or really all year, and I don't see Miller coming onto the field right now. I think they're going to go for it.
I think they're going to run the clock down, call a timeout, and then think about it because they don't want to leave Holy Cross with any opportunities left. Fox is standing next to the referee. They're going to watch the play clock wind down. There's about a 2nd differential between the play clock and the game clock, and I think that's exactly what they want. Make your field goal, miss your field goal. Don't give Holy Cross any time.
Good call,
They'll
Bob.
call it with 3 seconds left.
You called it.
And we're going to take a timeout. 7-0 Bucknell. Back with more after this. You're listening to Bucknell football on the Bison Sports Network.
Number 33, Richard.
Great use of the clock by Bucknell. 3 seconds to go in the half. Miller will attempt a 29-yard field goal from the far hash mark. And now Holy Cross is going to try to ice him by calling a timeout of their own. We'll keep it here with 3 seconds to go in the half, just in case it's not a full timeout. And Miller this season has made 10 field goals in 18 tries, made a big one last week against Lafayette in the second half.
Well, he needs to get this through the uprights right here, give him a 2-score advantage at this point. But Bucknell drives the ball all the way down to the 13-yard line here, and then really kind of inept from that point on. 3 kind of weak pass attempts. I think that they're going to take a look at these films and really say, wow, we could have had an easy 6. Perkins open a couple of times in the end zone, and really Fox going to the wrong man, I think, on some of these patterns. And I think that Craig Maropoulos is going to take a look at that upstairs, and they'll talk about that at halftime, maybe make a couple of adjustments. And I think if they get in this situation in the second half, that you'll see firm execution.
4th down. They'll line up for the field goal. It'll be again a 29-yarder out of Sikowski's hold. Cal Wilcox to snap to try to give Bucknell a 10-point advantage going to the locker room at the half. And Holy Cross is going to use yet another timeout. And the crowd grumbling, booing a little bit. And I hope Miller just drills it right through the heart here.
I do too, but you know what? It's not a bad play by Peter Voss here, because they might as well take advantage of their timeouts. It hasn't been a good operation. They've already foiled one opportunity today where Sikowski had to pull the ball down and then run a fire drill. So get them thinking about the whole thing, the snap, the hold. It's a cold, windy day. Maybe they're getting a little cold standing around right now. It's not a bad psychological play.
And, of course, a very key play for Holy Cross, because despite being totally dominated, if this field goal is not made, they're only down 7-0.
They're just down one score. So they might as well take all the opportunities they have right now to try and maybe freeze them, literally freeze Miller out there, because that's what he might be doing standing around.
Well, they've got one more timeout. We'll see if they use it. They'll let Bucknell deploy and line up again. It'll again be a 29-yarder, far side. That's the left hash mark. Sikowski to hold, Wilcox to snap, and they're going to use their final timeout. And Pete Voss getting all the mileage out of his timeouts. They will have to kick it here because Holy Cross is out of timeouts. And the reaction from the Bucknell crowd, one of their louder reactions of the season.
Yeah, and this is going to be about a 30-yard attempt. And if Miller can make this, it'll really make them look really good, because anytime, whether you're shooting free throws at the end of a game and they try to freeze you, if you can actually drill it, do your operation, perform your particular drill here, then it just makes you all the stronger and all the more confident.
3 seconds to go. Bucknell did a great job of time management, allowing Holy Cross no time after the kick. And now we'll set it out, and after all of this pomp and circumstance, we're finally going to have the kick.
And this is the longest 3 seconds that we've seen all year.
Great analogy to free throw shooting in college basketball, because those coaches, they love to ice free throw shooters.
Well, they think it's a big psychological play, and to a lot of guys it is. They think too much about it, and then they kind of choke up, and they don't do what they're supposed to do.
29-yard field goal. Finally, we're going to see it go in the air. Wilcox to snap, Sikowski to hold. Miller is ready. There's the snap, high snap, but Sikowski gets it down. Miller's kick is up, and the kick is no good. So the timeouts have paid off for Holy Cross, and Holy Cross jumps into the air and is happy as they're down 7-0 as we go to the dressing room. We're going to pause for this final game action timeout of the first half. 7-0 Bucknell. We'll pause for this. So Bucknell will play with the wind in the third quarter. That means Holy Cross will get the win in the fourth quarter. It'll be interesting to see what Bucknell can do with the win advantage in the third quarter. Maybe put some distance between themselves and Holy Cross, as it is only 7-0.
Yeah, this score is way too close. It's not indicative at all of how this game has actually progressed. And you know, we always make a habit of reading the statistics in between quarters at the end of each quarter, and you know, we need to start ripping off some of the defensive statistics and tackles, because those are the kids that are really playing lights-out football here all year long, and they seem to be getting stronger as this season goes on.
7-0, Bucknell in front. Freshman Ross Coleman has his hand raised, getting set to kick off. There's no one holding it, so the wind may have died down a little bit. High and overhead kick will be taken on the 5 by Sewell. He'll come up to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and dives out to about the 25. So a return of 20 for Robert Sewell, and Holy Cross will have decent field position at their own 25 to start 1st and 10.
I love the kickoff team, so I love to see who makes tackles on that, because it's truly a kamikaze squad. And Josh Lebrecht with another special team tackle today, and there's sort of an instinct on how to actually make those kind of plays. He was actually laid out and able to grip the Sewell by 1 foot to bring him down and tripped him up here for a good coverage.
So Holy Cross will have 75 yards of field to negotiate as they try for a tying touchdown on their first possession against the wind. Stapp will run the option. First time we've seen that. He'll toss to Walls, and Walls will be strung out for a very minimal gain of maybe 2. The Bison defense able to string it out. Stapp again opening quarterback. Walls has played more than Sanchez, but both running backs have seen time for Holy Cross. The Bucknell defense again, Feely in the middle, and Adams and Berman flank him on the sides on the down 3. Bird and Haggerty have played most of the time in the middle. We've seen some time from Pratico. The outside linebackers right now, Little playing with Hill, and the secondary, Musi-Parham on the corners, Boyle and Miller playing the safety spot. 2nd down and 7, and back to pass is Stapp. Stapp pumps once, throws long, has Hopkins out there, and underthrew him. Uzi bit early on the pump fake. Miller came over there, and that should have been a completion out to midfield, but a poor throw by Stapp.
Poor throw, and it's always interesting to see what teams do differently when they come out to start the second half as opposed to what they were doing in the first half. And Coach Voss has made a couple of changes already. We saw a counter veer-type play on the first down, and we saw a pump fake to the wide receiver on the second play. So we're already seeing some changes from them offensively.
Opening seconds of quarter number 3, Bucknell in a 5-man line. Holy Cross with a single back. Stapp back to pass. Bucknell will blitz. Stapp hit as he throws. And once again, a pass thrown to the grass as he's not able to get much on it. Rob Bird, Pat Feely, Ed Berman, Brandon Little, all were breathing down the neck of Brian Stapp. And now it's a 4th down and 3 and out. Holy Cross will have to punt into the wind. Bucknell's defense has done the job and should end up with good field position.
It's really inexcusable for a guy like Rob Bird, you know, to continue to be able to blitz and not get picked up, always be able to apply pressure to the quarterback. That's just a simple change that you've got to make in your protection scheme. Take care of that.
And McClinchy will punt. Bucknell will play for the return. It's a low tumbling kick. It'll bounce at the 45 and be down there by Robert Sewell. So Bucknell will only have 55 yards of real estate to try to put on a second score, just 26 yards on the punt into the wind.
Yeah, another great opportunity here with excellent field position with the wind at their backs. Remember, the wind is only going to be at their back here for this third quarter, so they've got to take advantage of that because offensives just play better when they have that kind of confidence. They can go deep with the ball. You throw the ball better. You're more efficient. You need to take advantage of this condition right now.
No boom to the left, Sikowski to the right, backs in an eye. Fox, the quarterback, had a very good first half, 15 of 26 for 143 yards. Fox on a long count, give it off to Lemon. Lemon will dive into the middle of the line for a couple, and Bucknell will have a second and about 7 or 8 to go for a first down on the tackle. Matt Ferry, the senior defensive tackle for Holy Cross. As we look at the Bucknell situation, Nopum has been the hot receiver today. I think maybe you might want to look at Nopum down the sidelines. They've had trouble covering him.
Well, he's really got them set up right now. He's caught a number of deep passes on out routes. And right now they've tried it once where they pump faked the out and they went deep with it. And I think that play is still there.
2nd down and 8 after the 2-yard gain. 3 wide receivers set. Fox on a straight drop. Fox looking over the middle. Sikowski on the crossing route. Catches it at the 35. Gets a Perkins block to the 30. And he'll be run out of bounds to the 20 by Justin Relihan. And Bucknell will have a first down at the Holy Cross 20-yard line. And they're knocking on the door once again.
And let's give immediate credit to the offensive line for giving Fox all that time to be able to throw the ball. He was clean, nobody touched him, and really delivered a real nice strike there to Sikowski. And the key to that play was he delivered to him in stride, where John never really had to break down or stop, come back for the football, and was able to turn it into a nice run after the catch.
33 yards on the play for Bucknell. They're in the red zone again, 1st and 10 at the 20. 13-16 to go in the third quarter, 7-0 in favor of Bucknell. Looking to try to pad that lead. Fox on a quick count. Gives it off on a delay to Lemon, and Lemon will be knocked down at the line of scrimmage by defensive tackle Matt Ferry. No gain. 2nd and 10 coming up for Bucknell. Bison have been able to throw the ball well today. They've thrown it better than they've run it. 176 yards passing. Lemon, though, has picked up 98 on the ground, but again 51 on one play.
And Maurice Wilson not very happy with the freshman right guard Patrick Janssen there, as he wasn't able to keep Ferry out of the action, because if he did, I think Rich Lemon would have had a really, really nice gain there.
Nopum, Sikowski wide to the left, Perkins wide to the right. Lemon and Myers back split behind Fox. 4-man line for Holy Cross. Fox back to pass, has some time. Fox underneath, throws it to Sikowski, makes a catch for a short gain of about 5. They'll get too close to the 15-yard line where it'll be a 3rd down for the Bucknell offense. Sikowski and Nopum have been the big receivers today. Sikowski with 6 catches for 85 yards, Nopum 7 for 72 yards. Now the 2 seniors on their final home game have done a good job.
Here we are, Bucknell. We mentioned last week, a lot of difficulties inside the red zone. 4 opportunities in the first half, only 1 execution there for a touchdown. So here they are again, their 5th opportunity. Let's see what they can do.
3rd about 6. Fox back to pass, throws it right side for Nopum, skips it to him at the 3. It's incomplete. It'll now be a 4th down, and the field goal unit will come on again. Bucknell has missed 2 field goal opportunities, one of them on a bad snap, and the other that Miller just missed at the end of the half. So the Bison will try to put 3 points on the board on their initial possession. This will be a 33-yard field goal from almost at the left hash.
And maybe the advantage that Miller will have on this field goal attempt is I don't think we'll see 3 timeouts called.
4th and 6, there'll be no timeouts called. The snap is high, and Miller's kick is blocked. The whole timing was knocked off, and Holy Cross's Terrence Browning will come down with the ball, and the Crusaders will take over at the 25, their own. And once again, Holy Cross has to be thinking they're leading a charmed life because Bucknell should have points and gets nothing.
Well, the operation between Cal Wilcox and John Sikowski all year long has looked kind of shaky to me.
I think that time it may have been Scott Lennox. They may have gone with the change that time as Lennox was running off the field. But either way, it's been a poor job.
Huh. I saw Wilcox come off the field too, so
maybe they were both out there. 1st and 10. Stapp will hand the ball off to Walls, and Walls will get a couple before being knocked down. Either way, Brian, it was a bad snap.
Bad snap, and you know, it's up to the holder, though, regardless of where the snap is, to get that ball down and not change the timing of the kick. But Miller really never had a chance on that one, as they were all over the initial kick.
2nd down and 7. Laboranti and Hopkins will go to the left side. No receivers to the right side except the tight end. Baxton and 11:20 and counting to go in the 3rd quarter. Bucknell in a 5-man line. Stapp will hand off to Sanchez, break a couple of tackles at the line, spin across the 30 to the 33. They'll pick up 5 on the play, and Holy Cross will have a 3rd and 2 here to try to convert. Holy Cross in single digits in first downs in the first half, and did not get a first down on their first offensive series. And Brian, they're just looking to be able to move the ball.
They only had 5 first downs in that first half, and they've had a lot of difficulties on 3rd down. But if they have any hopes of getting into this game against a very stingy Bucknell defense, they've got to start converting these 3rd downs.
Holy Cross, Stapp will hand off to Sanchez. He will not see the 35, and Holy Cross will not get the first down. Bucknell, a very difficult team to run against. Bird and Haggerty, the linebackers, filled the hole there, and Sanchez did not get the first down. It'll be 4th and about a yard. And Holy Cross has yet to bring the punting team on.
Oh, they are not going to punt the football here. They're going to take all the chances in the world, and they're going to go for it.
Do you think they're going to try to draw them off, or do you think they're going to run it?
I think they're going to run the football here.
4th and a foot on their own 34-yard line. Baxter in an eye. Holy Cross will run the play. Stapp will not get it. Now he'll try to push his way forward, but the spot is going to be across the 35. I think he's got the first down, but I don't know whether he had it or not.
Oh, I think he's going to get it simply on a 2nd and 3rd effort, but it was the ugliest looking, I don't know what you call that quarterback option sneak that they just ran.
Well, he got no line search. He was kind of moving sideways, which on a 4th and a foot's not what you want to do.
They look like a really bad piano in operation right there. As some guys were moving, some people were backing up. And the fullback was still asking for what the play was on, asking for the snap count as the ball was being snapped.
They were lucky they only had a foot to go. 1st and 10 at their own 35. Stapp now decisively hands it off the Walls, and Walls will pound over the left side for about 4 to the 39-yard line. Pat Feely on the tackle for Bucknell. 9:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. 7-0 Bucknell.
And I think that last call was kind of an exclamation point about how Holy Cross feels about this game and about their season. They've been frustrated all year long. Only 1 victory. They started off the season 0-5. They've got nothing to lose, and I'm sure that's how they're going to play the rest of this half.
They were ahead 10-0 last week in Bermuda against Fordham, but then gave up 17 unanswered points to lose 17-10. 2nd and 6, Sanchez over the right side, and Sanchez running tough. Mike Haggerty on the tackle for Bucknell. Another 3, maybe 4 yards on the play, and Holy Cross will have another 3rd and short to try to convert with 9 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
They love to run the backside guard and tackle on plays. Oh, geez, we have an injury down there right now.
That's Pat Feely, the nose guard. Andy Doremus has come in for him, and the training staff out to take a look at Pat. And I don't know, are they looking at his left leg there, Brian?
It looked like his knee. It looked like it was his knee that they're looking at right now, and that's what looked like it brought him down to the ground as he almost was trying to crawl off the field.
And as you look at Pat's numbers this year, 47 tackles coming in, 6 of them for loss. He has a sack. And coming back for a 5th year last year, just 23 tackles, and really a guy that I think has been one of the catalysts to this Bucknell defense. And he'll come off under his own power.
Not only that, but he's jogging off the field. He wants to let everybody know that he's going to be back in there. He's just shaking up on the play. But what I was saying was Holy Cross really likes to pull their backside guard and tackle and really try to play a power football game, as their backs don't have a lot of speed, and really requiring that type of bodies up front to move the football on the ground.
Another 3rd and short, 3rd and 2 this time, as the ball just outside the Holy Cross 43. Got to get across the 45 for a first down. They'll run it to Walls, try to get around left end, does for the first down. Terrence Parham knocks him off his feet. Ed Berman finishes him off. but again, they needed 2, and he got about 4. So Holy Cross will string together back-to-back first downs on this sequence, and they've moved the ball out close to midfield.
First down.
So they've almost picked up as many first downs on this drive as they did in the entire first half. It's now 2-5.
Yeah, and it's not surprising in that short yardage situation. They ran behind the All-Patriot League tackle, Tom Claro, in line to maybe become the first Patriot League player ever to win 3 awards like that in a row.
First and 10. Stapp will hand off to Sanchez, and Sanchez will get tackled at the line of scrimmage, trying to cut back over the right side. Andy Doremus, who's in the game for Pat Feely, made the stop. And I think it's really more impressive that a lineman might have a chance, because to me, one of the more difficult positions I think to break in, especially young in your career, is an offensive line spot.
Oh, there's no question about it. There's so many things that you do as an offensive lineman that go against your instincts. They teach you to be passive rather than be aggressive. They teach you to kind of back up rather than go forward. So there's a lot of things that go against your instincts.
2nd and 10 after no gain. Stapp will hand the ball to Sanchez and maybe get a yard. Doremus there, Bird there, Hunter Adams there, and that front 3 plus the linebackers that forced their way in there, very difficult to run against.
That play looked like Rob Bird was on a blitz, but he just read that run so quickly that he was just shot out of a cannon and was able to make that play actually in the backfield and almost beat the handoff. He read it so quickly.
So now it's 3rd and 9 after the 1-yard gain. Holy Cross with the ball at their own 48. 7:20 to go in the 3rd. Labarani to the right side. Myers and Hopkins to the left side. The lone back is Walls, very deep in the backfield. Now Labarani in motion, everybody on the left side. Stapp tried to roll it back to the right side. There's no one there to throw to except green grass, and he had to unload because Bird, Berman, and Adams, pretty tough trio, was right in his face.
Well, he was waiting for the tight end to come underneath on a crossing route right there, but you do not run bootlegs on this defense. They're too disciplined. Hunter Adams, Ed Berman read that play very, very well. Hunter Adams stayed at home on that play. He was all over Stapp as he threw it.
I remember Hunter Adams getting burnt once or twice at Penn, made some tremendous adjustments that day. And
since then, he hasn't been fooled by that play yet.
4th and 9, they'll punt. Rush comes. McGlinchey's kick is tumbling. Phillips calls for the fair catch in traffic. And did they give him enough room? I guess they're going to say they did. But Bucknell will take over at about its own 30-yard line, just 24 yards on the kick. And Bucknell now has seen 8 minutes of the wind go by the boards. It's 7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Bucknell in front by the score of 7-0 over Holy Cross.
Jim Fox continues to play very well here. I look for him to come out throwing the football right now. I think that they'll save the run, hopefully to run out the clock, run Richie Lemon in the 4th quarter, maybe wear down this defense. But right now I look for them to come out throwing.
And they've got one back now, a couple of receivers. Myers on a wing will go in motion from left to right. Fox will hand off to Lemon, and Lemon on first down may get a yard to the 31. A lot of white shirts in there, stack it up for Holy Cross, and it'll be 2nd down and 9 coming up. Jim Fox has really improved a lot in this middle to later stages of the season. Is there any 1 or 2 aspects you can pick out that you think he's improved in most?
Well, first of all, I think that he's a heady player. I think that he's a student of the game, and he understands defenses, and I think he's doing a better job of reading defenses. And when you first start out, you see so little. And the more you play, the more comfortable you get. The more you see, the more you're able to change plays and recognize what defenses are trying to do to you.
2nd and 8, he picks the right spot again for the first down, throws it to Nopum left side, who was in front of Terrence Browning. Browning could do nothing because he was about 2 yards behind him. Ball on the numbers, Nopum catches it on his knees, and it's a first down.
They haven't made a change over there with Browning against Nopum on that side of the field. As Browning's playing much tighter right now than he was earlier in the 2nd quarter and early in the 3rd quarter.
Browning, a senior, 5'8", 165. Good height advantage for Nopum when he gets that matchup. On the other side, Robert Sewell, also 5'8". He's just a sophomore. 1st and 10, they run the ball to Lemon. Lemon breaks a couple of tackles, gets into Holy Cross territory, across the 50, down close to the 46-yard line. Very close to a first down before Lemon is knocked down by the Holy Cross defense. It'll be 2nd and inches, and this is a time for a home run play.
Yeah, this is a perfect opportunity right now to play action fake, maybe send Lemon into the line and pull it back down and put the ball deep to Sikowski or whoever else is out there right now. But they have made a change at the corner here for Holy Cross. They have Cedric Rogers in for Sewell, who got beat up badly by Bucknell's wide receivers in that first half.
With that run, Lemon over the 100-yard mark for the 23rd time in his career. And they're going to hand it to Lemon, and he may go under the 100-yard mark because he'll lose 3 back to midfield. Holy Cross got great penetration on the defensive line, so instead of 2nd and about a foot, They now have third and about 4 to go for a first down.
With all the options that you have on 2nd and 1, the one thing you don't want to do is take any kind of a loss. You at least want to be able to pick up the first down and keep the chains moving rather than put yourself in kind of a precarious situation of 3rd and 4.
Less than 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Bucknell is still on top by the score of 7-0. Back split, 3 wide receivers, no tight ends. Fox back to pass, 2-step drop, throws it over the middle, and they'll say Sikowski trapped it at the 43. The ball was bulleted low, and it's incomplete, and now the punting unit will have to come on. So Bucknell not being able to convert the ball on 2nd and inches takes a third and a little bit longer, and that thwarts the drive.
Yeah, and really Holy Cross took a page out of Bucknell's defense right there as they sent the middle linebacker Streeter in on a blitz, and he hit Fox right in the mouth as he was releasing that ball and really made it difficult to pick up the hot receiver, Sikowski.
10 men up around 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Labaranti standing in his own 12 in single safety. Miller gets the pass from center. Holy Cross plays for the return. Not a good kick with the win. Labaranti will come up and catch it on the 20. Ed Berman will make the tackle after about a 4-yard return to the 24. 30 yards on the punt that time for Rich Miller. But Holy Cross has dodged another bullet. They get the football back with 4:38 to go in the third at the 25-yard line. And Brian, Holy Cross right now is just kind of hanging in there, and they're in a situation where on a freaky play could tie or win the game.
We've seen that too many times this year, and that's exactly the way they're thinking right now. They know that they can be as aggressive as they want to be at this point, take chances on 4th down, go for the home run because they just need one play to get back into this game.
1st and 10 at the 25, their own. Stapp gives it off the Walls. Walls hit in the backfield, and he's going to go down and lose 5 yards back to the 20. Might be easier to name the people who weren't around the ball at the time for the Bucknell defense than the people who were. I think Doremus, the nose guard, had good penetration. Eric Musi and a couple others finished him off.
You know, as well as this Bucknell defense has been playing, I would like to see the offense try to be more aggressive about what they're doing. They almost have nothing to lose. It looks like, you know, they have an opportunity to keep this goose egg up there the whole game as well as they're playing, and knowing that they're going to have to go against the wind in the 4th quarter.
2nd down and about 13. Quarterback draw for Stapp, and that time you'll get a couple. Reacting, Adams and Bird to make the stop, but on 2nd and 13, he'll give you 2.
And Brian Stapp looks like he's been stabbed too many times today. That wasn't a very, you know, a very athletic-looking play right there by him as he took the quarterback draw again. But he's been hit almost every time he's thrown the football today, and believe me, it's sort of like the heavyweight boxer that takes a lot of body shots in those middle rounds. You know, and later in the rounds, man, they came and stand on their own 2 legs.
3rd and 13, they'll go out of the shotgun. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Bucknell in a 5-man line. Stapp back to pass, throws it over the middle, and Labaranti makes the catch on his knees, but it's well short of the first down. He'll pick up about 5, but they needed 13 to go for a first down. Bucknell give him that short stuff underneath, and Holy Cross will be punting into the wind again. Phillips will stand just shy of midfield to receive the punt, and once again, Bucknell's offense should be set up in pretty good field position.
It should be, but you know, this has been a great game of field position for Bucknell. They've had field position all day long, but only 1 touchdown to show for it.
4th and 8. McClinchy will punt. Bucknell plays for the return. Pretty good kick against the wind. And Phillips will take it, juke the first man, try to get to the far side of the field, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. That's the Mike Phillips that we saw last season when he came within 20 yards of setting the season return record. And Phillips gets it inside the 25 to the 23 as Bucknell has used the punt return as a pretty good weapon this afternoon.
Mike Phillips has been very, very effective today returning punts. 2nd great return that he's had, and really helped out the offense, putting him in unbelievably good field position, the plus 23-yard line to start this drive.
24 yards on the punt for McClinchy, 28 yards on the return for Phillips. So Bucknell with the ball, as Brian said, at the 23 of Holy Cross, 2:43 to go in the third. And this is a must drive for points for Bucknell. They can't donate away this opportunity. 1st and 10, Fox looking to throw. Fox flushed out of the pocket. Fox still with the ball. Throws downfield to Perkins, streaking into the end zone. A diving chance off his fingertips. Incomplete. That time the play kind of broke down, and Fox and Perkins on the same page and nearly hooked up for 6.
Yeah, Perkins had quite a few steps on the cornerback right there that was covering him across the field. I think that was Cedric Rogers that he had to step on. And Fox really threw a pretty nice ball. Perkins left his feet to try to make that catch. I think that he feels he should have caught that football. That should have been 6.
2nd down and 10. The ball at the 23 of Holy Cross. Back split. Perkins to the left. Sikowski and Noteboom to the right. Fox under center. Holy Cross with a four-man line. Fox back to throw again. Good time this time. Fox underneath the Lemon, makes a catch at the 20, gets to the 18-yard line, so he'll pick up about 5, and Bucknell will have a 3rd and 5 from inside the 20.
And this is really where they've bogged down today. It's been on the 3rd down in the red zone where they haven't been able to come up with the right play, but they're going no huddle here, trying to catch Holy Cross maybe a little bit off balance, not being able to substitute like they might want to.
3rd and 5 for the Bison. Fox back to pass, 3rd throw in a row. Fox has time, now flushed out of the pocket. Fox will run. Fox inside the 20, inside the 15, should have the first down at about the 13-yard line. Fox just got enough, and with a Holy Cross defender, either Harris or Streeter kind of pushed him. Basically, when he made the tackle, pushed him across the first down marker.
And this is a change that we're seeing Bucknell in the red zone. They're going to a hurry-up, 2-minute style offense here where they're not huddling. They're going right at the line of scrimmage, hopefully catching the Crusaders a little bit off balance.
Holy Cross able to substitute Taberzi in for Gooden as a linebacker, as Bucknell calling the play at the line of scrimmage. Minute 50 to go on the 3rd. Bucknell in front by the score of 7-0. 3 wide receivers, no tight ends, back split. Holy Cross blitzes. Fox pass is tipped by the defensive tackle Matt Ferry, who had kind of dropped off into coverage. It's incomplete. 2nd down. Clock stops at the 13-yard line of Holy Cross.
Yeah, they blitzed the outside linebacker, and they dropped Ferry, who was really playing the defensive end on that position, and they just fell into the perfect passing lane. It was an excellent defensive call, actually, and I think it wasn't really by design. I think they actually got kind of lucky. Fox went right into what they were trying to do.
2nd down now, and 10 for the Bison at the 13.
For the championship on Sunday.
Nopum and Sikowski to the left, Perkins to the right. Again, the backs are split. Holy Cross with a 4-man line with wide defensive splits. Fox looking over the defense. Back to pass. Only a 4-man rush. Has time. Throws it left side. Nopum makes the catch at the goal line. Is he in or is his knees down? They're going to call him down at the 1-foot line, and now the Bison will go heavy. Nopum did a great job taking the ball off the turf.
I don't know how they can't call that a touchdown. His whole body was in the end zone. I guess when he fell backwards, the ball went. It didn't actually cross the goal line, but his whole body was in the end zone.
So now the Bison will have to push it a foot for a 14-0 lead. They've got both tight ends in, Stover and Wilcox. Lemon and Myers in the backfield. See if they give it to the big fullback, Myers. They do. He tries to penetrate the line. I don't think he got in. Probably about a half foot to go now for a score. They are that close. Minute 5 to go in the 3rd quarter.
And that looked like he was in the end zone also.
Come on, ref, don't you think he's laying in the end zone?
And the audience thinks that he was in the end zone also. There was a pretty good offensive line surge. The only mistake that Myers may have made is that he ran too high, and the defense had a good shot at his body to knock him backwards.
So the Bison now 2nd and goal inside the 1. Fox will send Rocket in motion from left to right. Backs in an eye. Toss to Lemon. No, it's a fake. Fox will throw it on the bootleg and throws it behind Wilcox. Incomplete. Fox was leveled by Dominic Blue, a defensive tackle, and it'll be incomplete. 3rd and inches now for the Bison.
That was a great play by Dominic Blue because it was an excellent ball fake into the line by Lemon.
I thought Lemon had the football.
I thought he did too. It was such a great fake that the whole defense bit except for Blue, and he was able to get into Fox's face. It looked like Fox at first could have walked into the end zone on that bootleg.
Bucknell 4 of 12 today on 3rd down conversions. This one is maybe a foot, and the most important 3rd down conversion on the game to try to give Bucknell a 2-touchdown lead.
Well, I guarantee you that Lemon touches the ball here with Myers as the lead blocker.
And nope, they're going to give it to Myers, the fullback, and he's in for the score. So Myers will score the touchdown, his first collegiate touchdown, Brian.
It's always good for a freshman.
So with 28 seconds to go, the Bison lead 13-0, and Bucknell had to have that one, Brian. It was just they've worked too many times to get down in the red zone to be turned away with nothing.
The defense has played too well, and they continually put so much pressure on the Holy Cross defense. It was just a matter of time. Of course, that drive only 23 yards, but it was just a matter of time before I think the pressure got to him.
And Miller's extra point is up and good. We've got a break in the action. 28 seconds to go. 14-0 Bucknell in the 3rd quarter. We'll pause for this 60-second timeout. You're listening to Bucknell Football on the Bison Sports Network. Wheeler back along with Brian Baldinger. 28 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Bucknell has extended the lead to 14-0. And you get the feeling the way Bucknell's defense is playing as Coleman will kick off with the wind. High short kick. It'll bounce at the 15. It'll be picked up at about the 12 by Walls for Holy Cross. A flag is down. Walls will be out to the 34. David Purcell on the tackle, but again, wait for the penalty.
Walls on the return.
Well, I'll tell you exactly what the penalty is. It's a clip by David Reapy, the senior linebacker for Holy Cross. Josh LeBrecq, once again, first player down on that kickoff coverage and really put a lot of pressure on him. He was forced to actually have to hit him in the back in order to knock him off his coverage stride.
So instead of starting out across the 20, the penalty will be assessed and the ball will be moved back to the 10. You get the feeling the way the Bucknell defense is playing that 14 points may be enough to win this football game.
It should be enough to win the game right now, but I don't think that they can sit content. This is their last home game right now, last home game for the seniors. I think they want to put this team away. It should be over right now, but I think they're really going to concentrate hard early in this fourth quarter, as this third quarter is 23 seconds away from ending, to put this team away and show who's the dominant football squad.
The 23-yard drive in 8 plays took 2:50. Turned by Mike Phillips to give him great field position. And it'll be a run into the line for Holy Cross for maybe 1 or 2. And there's been not much on any play between the tackle. Walls will call it a gain of 1 for him.
And it doesn't matter if they try to penetrate the inside between the tackles or if they try to go wide. This defense has been up to snuff and up to the task all afternoon long. And Holy Cross got to be thinking that they're trying to run into a brick wall every play.
And that's the end of the third quarter. Bucknell by 14, looking for their second shutout of the season and their 4th consecutive win. The Bison 14, the Crusaders nothing. You're listening to Bucknell football on the Bison Sports Network. 15 minutes to go. Bucknell in front, 14-0. Brian will have the numbers, and I think as I saw them being passed across in front of me, the number's about 200 yards difference in total offense. 2nd and 9 for Holy Cross as they trail 14-0. Brian Stapp has gone all the way at quarterback, has time, throws it left side, and underthrows John Myers. It'll now be 3rd and 9 from the 11. And Brian, are the numbers as lopsided as I thought?
Yeah, they are, and you're exactly right, Bob. There's a 200-yard total difference in offense here this afternoon. Bucknell has run 66 plays for 317 yards versus the Crusaders 49 plays for 117 yards. First downs, total dominance here. Bucknell 19 first downs versus 7 for Holy Cross. And also in rushing right now, Holy Cross 32 rushes for 87 yards, so less than 3 yards per carry.
Stapp out of the shotgun on 3rd and 9. Bucknell's defense jumping around. Another bad snap from center. Stapp picks it up and just heaves it long, trying to make something happen, throwing it for Myers at midfield. Crudup had great coverage, and the ball sails over their head with the wind by about 8 or 9 yards. What I was going to mention, there's a lot of games you see, and maybe the score will be somewhat lopsided, and you say the game was closer than the score. This is one of those that goes the other way. The game has not been that close.
Well, I think that last play is an indication of how lopsided it is. Holy Cross really just flailing out there, throwing up their arms, just throwing the ball up and hoping for something lucky to happen. I think Bucknell is way too good for something like that to occur.
McGlinchey will punt with a wind, and it's going to be a low line driving kick. It'll bounce at the 49, take a great roll inside the Bucknell 40 to about the 39-yard line. With the wind, you try to get the ball up and let the wind help you. That time it was a low line driving kick, and he was lucky he got a roll.
He got a bounce with it. The ball was going end over end, and it picked up on the ground, continued to do the same thing.
Looked like one of my golf shots off the tee, low, and then hopefully you get a bounce.
You kind of rolling it down the fairway there?
Yeah. As we look at Jim Fox's numbers, he is now 20 of 36 for 210 yards, and Bucknell through the air has been very good, especially moving it safe from the 10 to the 10 today. 1st and 10, they go to the run, they give it to Lemon. Lemon bounces off one tackler, and maybe he'll get a yard there. Holy Cross closed that hole down pretty good.
And Rich Lemon, through 3 quarters, has gone over the century mark once again this year. At the end of 3 quarters, 23 carries for 106 yards. So another real productive day. Of course, the one big 51-yard slasher off the right side, right behind Ted Stover and Miziak. That was an impressive run.
We really haven't talked too much about this other than in the pregame show. Again, that the win today, if Bucknell's able to hang on, as Phillips goes to the left, Sikowski to the right, backs in an offset eye. 5-man line for Holy Cross on 2nd and 9. Fox will toss to Lemon. Lemon will run to the right side, get around the corner. 50, 45, 40.
He's gone.
He may go all the way and will.
He's gone.
20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Rich Lemon. It'll be a 59-yard run for Lemon, his longest run of the season, and it comes with 13:55 to go in the game.
Richie Lemon needed 193 yards to cross the 1,000-yard mark today, and that puts him up to about 170 yards for the afternoon. So just an outstanding day, and he really showed that He, I don't care what, how much tape they put on those ankles or how much he limps off the field. He still has a great amount of speed and a great burst down the right sideline.
59 yards. It's now 20-0 with 13:55 to go. And Lemon had to run into that stiff wind that time, and Miller will drill the extra point, and it's 21-0. So the Bison strike quickly on the ground. We'll pause for this timeout, 60 seconds. Bucknell 21, Holy Cross nothing. You're listening to Bucknell football on the Bison Sports Network.
Number 16, Ross Coleman on the kick for the Bison. Back deep to receive.
Bison early in the fourth quarter, minute 5 into the period, have jumped all over Holy Cross. It's now 21-0. Coleman will kick off, and it's the squib kick. It'll roll inside the 30, and Matt Berquist, the linebacker, will just fall on it and fall forward about 3 yards to the 33. But let's get back to the run for Lemon. A picture perfect, gets to the corner and just turned on the juices.
Yeah, and he's just used his speed to outrun the Holy Cross defense. And we mentioned early in this game that Holy Cross had been giving up about 235 yards per game on the ground, and right now you're looking at Bucknell with well over 100 yards. Richie Lemon about 170 right now, so they're approaching that mark, and that's what Holy Cross gives up on the average.
1st and 10. Now Holy Cross out of the shotgun, down 21-0. Stapp back to pass. He may be sacked by Berman, and he's held up by Berman, and they're going to blow it dead, saying that Berman had him in the grasp. Ed's 3rd sack of the day.
This is an opportunity for a lot of these kids to kind of pad some stats. Ed gets another sack, another step closer to the all-time sack record here for Bucknell. I think he might be just one away, Bob.
Yeah, he came into the game with career sacks 21.5. He's now 24.5. He needs 25.5, Dave Hibbert.
And, you know, at the risk of being sounding like the Grim Reaper here, you know, this game shouldn't even be this close right now. This game should be put away. Second teamers should be playing. You know, some of these junior varsity kids that don't get a chance, they should be out there playing football right now.
Stapp will throw it left side. The backup quarterback, Chad Vaughn, makes the catch out to about the 38. It'll be a pickup of 8. It'll be 3rd and about 5 or 6 coming up for Holy Cross. The point I was going to make before we got excited when Lemon went 59 yards is a win today. Not only takes it to the 4th win in a row, longest winning streak since 90, but clinches a winning season. And to show you how rare it's been at Bucknell, the last one was in 90. The one before that was in 80.
And let's give Tom Gadd and his coaching staff all the credit in the world, because these kids bought into the program. They gradually, stepped up the progress here to the point now where this defense, I think if they went back and played Princeton, I think if they went back and played Penn or Lehigh, that this is a team that can compete and win against those type of teams.
And this time, Holy Cross throws the football short of the first down marker. Labarani makes the catch. They may come in and measure, but I don't think he's got the first down. It looked to me short.
The biggest change on this defense from past years is just their overall aggressiveness. They have not backed off from any opponent this year. They continually attack you and come after you with a number and a real array of blitzes, and they never really stop putting the pressure on an offense, forcing that offense to execute on every single play.
3rd down now turns into 4th down in about a foot, and I think Holy Cross is going to have to go for it, down 21-0. It serves no purpose here to punt the football.
You know, and if you think about it, the only big play they've given up all year was that run to Abdullah in the Lehigh game
on
down
the swing pass.
On the swing pass, really the only big play they've given up.
And on 4th and a foot, they give the ball to Walls, and he should have the first down at the 45-yard line. Early in the 4th quarter, it's 21-0.
Hunter Adams on the tackle for the Bison. First down.
He did. We've been handed a note by Bucknell's athletic director, Rick Hartzell, that Rich Lemon has now picked up Bucknell's all-purpose yardage, picking up, I think, 174, he said, on the day, which takes him ahead of Dan Skoka, over 4,384 yards in his career all the way.
And only a junior.
So that ad's going to probably go up to about 5,000 for his career. First down and 10, near interception. It's off the fingertips of Labarani. Josh Lebrecht, who was behind the play, almost picked it off.
And these guys are having some fun out there right now as Rob Bird on another blitz almost got to Stapp again. Nobody picking him up. Andy Doremus in there right now for Hunter Adams, getting a couple different players into the mix right now, and everybody can have an opportunity to have a little bit of fun out there through the rest of this 4th quarter.
So it's now 2nd and 10 on the incompletion. Bison leading 21-0. Again, Stapp is out of the shotgun. So congratulations to Lemon for that record. Berman has set the single-season sack record, and it's an incomplete pass as Stapp throws it over the middle to Labarani. He would have maybe gained 3 yards as right on top of him was Brandon Little, ready to tackle him or knock the ball away, and the ball was knocked away.
And you could say that there's blood in the water right now, and Bucknell is really smelling it, as everybody wants to get in on the action right here. Everybody wants to get a hit on the ball carrier. Everybody wants to try to get to the quarterback.
And we've got a statistic we'll pass along to you. Bucknell maybe honing in on a shutout with the score 21-0. It's 3rd and 10 for Holy Cross. Stapp out of the shotgun, looking downfield, throws it, intending it for Hopkins. It's incomplete. Mark Miller right there to knock him down and knock the ball away. It's incomplete, 4th and 10. 1982, the last time Bucknell recorded 2 shutouts in the same season.
Yeah, of course, the first one was the first game of the year here at Christy Mathewson against Southern Connecticut. That was a 20-0 victory. And I really don't see Holy Cross putting anything together to be able to get into this end zone. I think it's really important for the senior-dominated defense right now to keep this shutout up there.
4th and 10. Holy Cross. McGlinchey will punt. They go with an all-out rush, try to block it, and McGlinchey gets off his best punt of the day. Spiraling kick fielded by Phillips, and Phillips will be tackled on the spot by Cedric Rogers of Holy Cross. No return. 43 yards on the kick with the win that time for McGlinchey. We mentioned about Berman getting the record, also getting the record for all-purpose for the career as Lemon. Phillips now has returned more punts than anyone in Bucknell history. So a lot of records falling here in the 9th week of the season.
Yeah, great day for Mike Phillips to return the football on the punt returns. A great job of splitting the safeties, coming down the field, and then trying to find that open seam. In both cases, it's been down the left sideline.
11.5 minutes to go between Bucknell and a winning season with still 2 games left after this one. Phillips to the left, Perkins to the right. They'll toss the ball left side to Lemon, try to get around the corner. Slips a Gooden tackle, but there's just too many in white there, and Lemon will be nailed for a loss of a couple on the play. Justin Relihan, the free safety, a little slow getting to his feet.
We've got to give the 16 seniors on this team a lot of credit, Bob, because they're coming into their last year with a new coach and a new system. They're the ones that have to make the adjustments. And it's difficult for somebody that's been in a program for 3 years already to have to change the way that they play, maybe change a position, change their style. And you know what? I think the kids have really bought into what Tom has done here, his overall philosophy and what's he trying to do, and it's really been made for a productive season.
2nd down and 13 for Bucknell. Fox will throw it out in the flat to Perkins, goes up and catches the ball in the backfield, cuts back to the middle of the field. The flag is down, probably a clip. Perkins may have lost the ball. The ball is loose on the ground. If Holy Cross is recovered, they'll be in the red zone, but it appears that Bucknell has fallen back on top of the ball, and a penalty will be an illegal block against the Bison. I remember very early in the season at one of the press conferences, somebody asked Tom when he felt this would be his team. And he said immediately it's his team. And I've noticed a lot of coaches when they come in kind of phase out people who've been the other coach, previous coaches' recruits. But he's made this senior class his nucleus, and I think it's paid off.
It's to his credit, you know, because that's usually the way things happen is that people that have been here that weren't really, you know, system type of guys or different type of system, they try to knock those guys out of the way and push for the younger guys to build the program. But what he's done is he's taken the seniors, he's assessed their talents, he realizes they have a lot of ability, and fit these guys right away and build some momentum, a groundswell of momentum here for future teams.
And this senior class is going to go out with a winning season. Lemon cuts back, gets out across the 10 to the 11. Clock running, 10:20 to go. Bucknell will have a 3rd and long to try to convert here from in their own territory to about their 11 or 12-yard line.
And I think it's important for the seniors to go out with a winning record, a winning team, a winning spirit, because if this team and if this program does continue to progress under Tom in later years, when they come back to visit, they're really going to be held responsible and given the credit for turning this program around.
Again, not a winning season here since 90, and 90 was the last one before 80, so quite an accomplishment for this Bucknell team. 3rd and 12, Fox back to pass, has time. Now the rush closes in, gives it off to Lemon. Lemon won't get the first down, but we'll give a little more punting room to Rich Miller as they're out across the 15 to the 17. It'll be 4th down, and the Bison will kick it away with about 9.5 minutes to go in the football game.
You know, when a John Sikowski or Steve Noteboom comes back to visit next year or the year after, you know, he's going to be able to look at a guy like a Patrick Johnson, and they're going to have that camaraderie right away. They're going to realize that these guys were really the catalyst for this program being turned around and improving, and they'll be able to pass that on as kind of a legend.
Miller ready to punt. Holy Cross with 10 men at the line. We'll see if they go for the block. They need to score in a hurry a couple of times. Miller gets it away, and it's a short kick against the wind, but Holy Cross will let it roll. Unfortunately, it'll take a bounce. It may have hit the shoe of Labaranti. Bison players are trying to say it's their ball, but now the officials will step in and say that it did not. and Holy Cross will have it at the 43, only 26 yards on the kick.
And Terrence Parham has given his little bit of a commentary there to the Zebras, as he had the best view of that ball hitting Labarante's foot. I think it did, too.
But in a 21-0 game, I guess the official's not quick to turn it over on a little foot hitting.
Now on a quarterback for Holy Cross.
Holy Cross has switched quarterbacks. We've got somebody that's not even on the too deep. Dan Boland, the freshman, has come into the game. Boland will throw it out in the flat and complete his first pass to Hopkins. And I think Musey may be called for hitting him too soon, or maybe a face mask. The gain will be about 6 yards. I think Boland has played some this year, because I remember seeing his numbers on the stat sheet. I think he's looks like 15 of 31, but 4 interceptions, 1 touchdown, and is completed for 161 yards in passing.
Once I knew that Chad Vaughn wasn't going to play today, and certainly not start for Holy Cross, I was watching the young freshman Dan Boland in warm-ups. He's a tall guy, tall, rangy guy, 6'4", about 200 pounds, and he's got a very good release. He throws he puts a lot of mustard on the football.
Boland back to pass on 1st and 10. Blitz from the nearest far side by Hill. Now he takes off and runs, and Little will bump him out of bounds at about the 32 or so at a gain of 5 on the scrimmage. Hill came like water over a dam that time on the far side. No one laid a hand on him, and Boland was lucky he had eyes in the back of his head, was able to scramble out of there and avoid the sack.
Stapp really had a tough day back there today throwing the football, as he got hit nearly every single time he tried to release it. And right now, Dan Boland looks like he has fresh legs. He looks a little more athletic than Stapp. And these are the type of situations where a young guy can come in and maybe impress somebody, maybe get an opportunity to play the next week.
Stapp just 6 of 24, 43 yards on the day. Boland throws it over the middle, complete to Labarani, has the first down at the 26. It'll be a pickup of 7 yards, and the sticks will move. Clock stops with 8:30 to go, and Holy Cross really right now with their best chance of the game to score. They have a first down now at the Bucknell 26.
And part of that, you have to really give credit to Boland here, because I think, without really knowing the statistic, that's the first time they've completed 2 passes back-to-back all day.
On the sidelines, it looks like Pat Feely may be done for the day. It looks like his left ankle has some ice around it. And with Bucknell ahead 21-0, Andy DeRemus, the senior, will go the rest of the way. Ed Berman will pick up yet another sack. He'll get a 4th sack for the 2nd time, and that'll push Holy Cross back outside the 30 to the 33, and that will tie the career record of sacks with 25.5.
Yeah, and it's been a great afternoon for Ed. You know, a senior playing his last home game. You couldn't ask for anything more. And this is a legitimate 4 sacks now, as he's being an all-league football player in Tom Claro, and he beat him coming to the short side of the field. He had a long way to go to get that sack.
Ed, one of the more athletic defensive linemen in the Patriot League. I would assume honing in on first team all-league. 2nd down and about 16. Boland has plenty of time this time. Now has to heave it up and is going to throw it out of the end zone, incomplete. Hopkins and Miller jostle for it, but they would have been out of the end zone by about 5 yards. Had either come down with it, incomplete. And the Holy Cross team now will look at 3rd down and about 16.
I think he was trying to throw it through the uprights.
You get 3?
He tried to get 3 points.
JV game this past week, a drop kick was scored for an extra point.
You don't see that very often.
No. Mark Gazorla, backup kicker.
Didn't know anybody practice the drop kick anymore.
He does. Maybe we can see it in the game. Coax him out here if Bucknell gets the ball back. 3rd down and 16. Bison assistant coaches were coaching, and they told him if they got a score, they'd allow him to do it. 3rd and 16, Boland being pressured. Throws it over the middle to Hopkins, makes the catch for the first down inside the 15, and all of a sudden 5 or 6 Bison will jump on top of him to bring it down. And the thing that's impressing me about Boland, I think he throws the ball with more zip than Stapp does.
He throws it with a lot more zip. He's a lot more athletic. Now, of course, he's fresh right now. He hasn't been beat up all day, but he looks to me much more impressive at this position than Stapp ever did all day long.
7:13 and counting. Holy Cross with a first down inside the 15 at the 14. Bucknell's defense will have to hunker down if they want to come up with the shutout in this ball game. Boland back to pass, has time, pumps, now throws for the end zone, and overthrows Hopkins. It was too long. Mark Miller had the best chance to catch it, but it went over his head as well.
And not too typical or atypical of a freshman quarterback. Really threw that into double coverage. Mark Miller was waiting on the deep side of that football. If it wasn't overthrown, it was going to be intercepted.
Mark Miller has 7 career interceptions for Bucknell, had 6 of them in 1993. Last year picked up 1. And as of yet, still looking for his first interception. Second down now and 10 from the 14. Back to pass is Bolin out of the shotgun. Haggerty comes free, misses Bolin. Bolin will run to the left side. He should be at least able to get rid of the ball. Bolin still has it, and he'll be tackled at the line of scrimmage back at the 14. That was one that probably should have been drilled between the goalposts to avoid a sack. Haggerty broke late. I think, as Brian, you were saying earlier, that they wait and see if the back releases, and when they don't come, he comes in off a couple of seconds, and I think a lot of times that confuses the Holy Cross line.
It's called a red dog, and they wait till the offensive linemen have picked up their blocks, and they're tied up, and then they come free. And if you anticipate that kind of a blocking scheme a little bit, you can really get a jump on it, and they put a lot of pressure on Bolin. Ed Berman right there was in line maybe for his 5th sack if he could have brought Bolin down there on the left side.
That would have been a school record. 3rd down and 10. Bolin out of the shotgun. Has time, throws it underneath, making the catch. The Holy Cross receiver, that's the tight end, Bobby Andrews. It'll be short of the 1st down. It'll be 4th and about 3, and down 21-0. They're going to have to go for it. Final from the Bronx, Lehigh wins by shutout, 17-0. The Engineers now go to 3-0, and Fordham will fall to 2-2 in the league.
On quite a few occasions now this year, we've seen the opposition in the red zone deep in the 4th quarter, and Bucknell come up with a big play to keep the team out of the end zone and off the board.
4th and 3. Bucknell has held opponents scoreless in the 4th 6 of 8 times in games. Bolin will roll to the right side. He'll run the ball inside the 5. He'll get to the 3 and should have the 1st down. Holy Cross will have it 1st and goal in the 3 with 5:23 to go in the football game. And the shutout right now kind of precarious as far as the Bucknell defense is concerned. They're going to need a great goal line stand here.
From my advantage point, Jay Voss has made a huge mistake not playing this kid all game. He runs the ball much better. He's much more athletic. He's got a very live arm, an arm that could have been really productive here against this strong wind this afternoon.
They're going to put Hopkins to the right, Vaughn to the left, Baxton and Nelson in front of Sanchez. Bolin, the quarterback, hands it to Sanchez, and Sanchez will get stacked up at the line of scrimmage for no gain, maybe a gain of a half-yard. Rob Bird putting the bear hug on Sanchez, and it'll now be 2nd and goal at the 2.
There was an interesting matchup right there that developed in that formation where the sophomore wide receiver for the Crusaders, Brian Hopkins, at 6'4", was matched up against Mark Miller, the senior that was playing quarterback right there, only 5'9". I thought maybe a fade pattern was going to be dialed up on that play.
Hopkins now and Vaughn go to the left side. Labarani to the right. It's 2nd and goal from just outside the 2. Walls the lone back. Labarani in motion right to left to put 3 receivers over there. Bolin will sprint out to the left side, throws it on the run, and they're in for the score. Bolin to Labarani on a 2-yard gain, and it's good for the score, and it's 21-6.
What Bolin really made that drive go is he was really pretty effective in just about everything he tried to do. The best thing is that he seems to be athletic and elusive and was able to escape quite a few defenders on this march.
So the score comes with 4:22 to go in the football game. Bolin will hold, maybe watch the fake here. It's not the regular holder. And Bolin will put it down on the turf, and the kick will be up and good. So the kick is good from the kicker, Jamie Gornell, who was perfect on the season on extra points. We've got a break in the action. 4:22 to go in the football game. 21-7 Bucknell. You're listening to Bucknell football on the Bison Sports Network.
Number 28, Rich Lemon.
Bucknell with their hands team out there. Their onside kick return. They've got 10 people inside the 245-yard lines. Rich Lemon will stand as the only deep player at the 20. With 4:22 to go in the game, Holy Cross has finally scored. It's 21-7. And, Brian, you know there's an onside kick right now.
Well, we know it's coming. They haven't seen the lineup yet. They're going to wait till the ball can actually stay on the tee before they attempt this. But typically what you try to do is you try to overload one side of the ball or the other. I think being a right-footed kicker, he's going to try to overload the left side of the coverage team. And as the hands team performer here, all you want to do is just fall on the ball.
Holding it will be Doxey. Ball from the left hash mark. Looks like they're going to kick it maybe over here to the near side of the field. We'll see. The kick will be kicked deep, high, as Bucknell had 10 men in the line. Lemon will run back and field it on the 3, go back into the end zone. He'll come out with it to the 5. He gets by the initial group of tacklers and gets out close to the 20 to the 18-yard line. In that situation, it may have been deemed a muff, and he might have been able to fall on it in the end zone and get a touchback. But you really don't have time to ask Because in college football, if you take a knee, it's a safety if that's not a muff.
Right, and I don't think that he wanted that to happen. Plus, I think he thought he could do something with the footballs. He had a real quick crease there, and if he wasn't tripped up, Rich might still be running.
It's funny, sometimes on one of those kicks where the return man either bobbles it or something strange happens.
It throws the timing of the coverage off, and sometimes you get a good split and good return.
1st and 10, Bucknell at the 18. Jim Fox remains at quarterback. It has been a great day for him. Fox will hand it to Lemon, and Lemon will be tackled for a couple-of-yard loss. Brian Regan, the nose guard, in the backfield to make the stop. And Bucknell right now